3, 2, 1. Hey, are we live? I think we are. We're live.
Oh yeah, baby.
Again, it's Friday night. What are you listening to? It's going to be a great show tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If anyone's indeed tuning in.
Oh,
it should be a couple of people, right?
No, we blanketed. Social media has been. They've gotten a thrashing.
It's been a campaign. I think
the campaign, like the money we sunk into the advertising on this one, the door knocking we've been doing. So you'll hopefully get the
whole neighborhood is.
Oh yeah, we got the Filipino choir from down the street that they're practicing right now. I knocked on. I was like, "Hey guys, during your break."
It's gonna be.
And they were like, "Shot in the balls, and you're in pain. You just had a sex change."
Hey, Ronnie, are you having as much fun as we are? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But hey, someone's in the chat. Let's see who's in the chat. Hey, it's Tony.
Hey,
Hey.
Baltimore
in the house.
Baltimore in the house.
Baltimore in the house.
Hell yeah. Oh, here, let me just put away all my deep sleep records that I was going to use to decorate the background.
All right. Let me do the old, the housekeeping. Let's get out of the way. Like us, subscribe to us, tinkle the notification bell, all that good stuff. Help us out. There we go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. There we go. All right. Are we ready? As usual, we've got about 5 records each. About 5. About 5 records each that we're going to have a great time nerding out about. I got 5. I think I got a straight 5. Some like.
Oh, you're going straight 5.
I think I'm going straight tonight. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I got a few backups just in case.
Yeah, I have about a full room. I have 50 records just sitting.
Sometimes we get a little flexible, if someone has a pick and ours, ties in with the previous one.
That's true.
It can go many directions.
That's
Anything
true.
can happen. Hey, we've got to introduce the guests. Ian and Graeme. Good to see. When was Homefront in Japan? When was that? April? May?
May. The end of May.
End of May. Yeah. Good to see you guys again. Zach, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's going to be a good time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Pure Mania. When were you guys? And was that start of May?
Yeah. I think like tonight's informal theme is Canadians who've recently been to Japan.
Right.
I was like guys who have crossed paths with Mike.
You're glad. So, Pura Mania played at Club Stomp, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and then Homefront was Hokage, right, in Osaka.
I don't know, just like that weird shoebox that was like the hottest room ever. And the one bathroom, what's funny is like I think about like if that venue was anywhere else, like if you like that bathroom was like right in there. And like you pretty much had to be like, excuse me, guys, I'm gonna go just show you how Alberta does it, and drop a couple fucking big ass bombs. Oh, sorry, monetize, guys. We got to get through this first 5.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do
but
it.
Anyway,
I don't know about you.
No, but I feel like if you had that can in like any other country, you'd be like rocked side to side. Guys flying over the side, just like
we're civilized over here,
That's what I noticed.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Are we ready? Let's do this. Cheers, everyone. Let's get started. So,
hell yeah! Oh yeah!
Last week we did a CD only episode, and it was funny because 3 of us just kind of held up this one, but nobody talked about it. It was kind of funny. We all had it, but like we didn't talk about it. It's this Sticks in Throat. Move on Zeros, Japanese hardcore from like 2000. We all love this album, but nobody talked about it. We just kind of held it up and then put it back down again because we're talking about the singer of this band and this other band, and we just kind of held this up. Wait this.
We got to preface this. Are we bringing compact disc into
No,
the mix?
no. This is my. This is my.
Like, whoa, what is going on over here?
Don't worry, I'm setting the scene for my.
Okay.
I'm setting this.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna.
This is a flashback to last week. A recap from last week's catch up. So yeah, I love the guitar playing on this album. It's a guy called Kazu, and one of the reasons why I like this record is because of his guitar playing. It's kind of unusual for a Japanese hardcore record. lots of clean tones and stuff. So this guy Kazu, he plays in Turtle Island now. I don't know if you guys know Turtle Island. They're kind of amazing band from Nagoya that has like 15 members that mixes kind of traditional Japanese festival music with punk. They're a great band, great live band. Anyway, that's Kazu. Hold that thought. Just remember Kazu for a couple of minutes.
Of course.
Right? And then...
Okay, how can I forget?
2 years ago, S.K.V Yokoyama from Gizm passed away. August 24th, 2023. He passed away. Now, what's that got to do with Kazu, you're thinking? Well, Kazu was in like one of the last incarnations of Gizm. He played guitar in Gizm, like right at the end. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
way to go, Kazu.
what people didn't know was that they did this secret recording in this Italian wine bar in Shibuya in like 2016, and it got recorded, and it just came out on LP on the 2nd anniversary of S.K.V's death.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm talking about Kazu, 23, and S.K.V. Marobashi.
Let's hear this sucker.
General Speech Records just put this out.
Whoa.
Live recording. This is one of the ones that I probably should have showed when Paco was on and Jonah was on, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
They'd
out
be like,
yet.
"Oh yes, of course, that's from that
the intellectual episode," but it wasn't out yet, so I couldn't. So I'm gonna.
So you brought it out to the real intellectuals. we got 3 brainiacs here, so check this, boys.
Help me out on this. Help me describe this record.
Put the seatbelt on, boys. About to have your ass blasted.
Are we 5 minutes in yet, Graeme? I don't know.
Ass is actually not a swear in Canada, but I don't know about Japan.
There you go.
Let me try and describe this record for you. So it is kind of a noise record. Like, it's Kazu's guitar. It is guitar only with like lots of effects, but like lots of textures. It's like all these layers. It's like kind of ambient, psychedelic, and then it goes like sheets of noise sometimes. Sometimes it sounds like there's a kind of an orchestra, like almost on the top of his guitar. It's pretty amazing. For me, he's like the kind of the star of this show. And actually, it was only supposed to be him. Like, S.K.V called him up and said, "Hey, can I come down and like do some improvisation over your like live performance tonight?" So he couldn't say no, right? So it's like he comes down and like he just does what S.K.V does, and just he had him like turn all the lights off. It was pitch black in this little club in Shibuya. None of the audience were punks. Nobody knew who S.K.V was. And then he Kazu starts playing like his improvisational, like psychedelic ambient noise guitar, and then suddenly you get this. I can't do an imitation of S.K.V. I don't know if anybody here can, but like
only if I listen to it like more than 3 times in a way, and then
like,
if I do it, most people
like,
call me a racist bastard if I do.
He does his like vocalizations, like, which it's funny because it's like like Gizmo. It's like it's bordering on comical and terrifying, at the same time. It's like, is this funny? Is this scary? I'm not quite sure. And like sometimes he chants like a monk, and sometimes he does like the and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I know it took me a while. It took me about 5 minutes to kind of get used to it, and I kind of settled down. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. There's a real like mood going on here, and it's just like one improvised piece, like over like 28 minutes or something, and then like
does S.K.V do anything else? Because like I know he does his own kind of like noise music and stuff. And
no, not on this. He just does his vocalizations, like wordless vocalizations, like. And there's quite a lot of it. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard like the album he did with Jojo Hiroshige from Hijo Kainan. But he's pretty like he's not very prevalent on that one. S.K.V, Jojo Hiroshige did the liner notes for this record. I'm going to talk about Jojo Hiroshige again later. Important guy in Osaka. He has a fortune telling shop called Future Days.
Oh, actually, that sounds sick.
Right? Isn't that cool?
I mean, you don't hear many people saying, "I'm going into business in the fortune telling business."
He literally took the best fortune telling shop.
Let's be honest. If you're a punk guy, fortune telling is probably so easy. If only punks come in, you're like, you're fucking gonna suck. You're gonna grow up and be a piece of shit, and you're probably gonna die. So there you go.
I think like he's pretty well revered in the future telling the world. I don't know, like, but anyway. So yeah, this is it's pretty cool. So actually,
Wait, I just clued in that he's pretty big in the old fortune telling scene. Hell yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say that it says this is like an improvised thing, and I believe it. I think it is. But I used to do this event in Osaka, this like little dive bar called the Night of a Thousand Eyes. Like back in 2018, I put Kazu on, and what you hear on this is really similar to like what he did like on that night. I'm not saying it's like a fixed thing that he does, but it was real similar, except like without S.K.V.
Oh, like you mean like his guitar playing was similar.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, very almost the same as what's on here. Just the tones and the textures and all that kind of stuff, and the noises, the sounds, pretty similar. But I think it is improvised. But he has a lot of tricks that he pulls out. You know,
I feel like you'd have to know like you have certain tricks,
right,
that you know are really gonna like rock the land.
He knows.
Like if he starts busting into eruption, you know, you're like, hell yeah.
I'm getting some notes in the chat about how Jojo had a sports card shop in the 90s.
He did.
What? He had a fortune telling shop and a card shop.
Okay. He's done everything, man.
Honestly, I'm a biggest fan right now.
Like trading cards. He's a well-known figure. Like in Osaka, like he did Alchemy Records.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that.
And he's put out tons of collaborations, like with millions of people, and he's a well-known figure. And it's funny, I don't know. Okay, so he did the liner notes on this, and he talks about S.K.V very fondly, but he calls him by like the most friendly, like, because we have these honorifics in Japanese, right? Chan and Kun and San and Sama, and Hiroshige Jojo calls like S.K.V Kun, which is like what I would call a very close friend or a small child or a boy. And it's kind of cute because he's older than S.K.V, right? So S.K.V was definitely like his junior. And then Kazu comes in with his liner notes and he's calling him like the most polite honorific because, you know.
Right.
Well, you were talking about that. I just had this vision of like 20 years from now, Mike, you're still going to be doing this show, and some new younger punks are going to be talking about the Homefront record, and they're going to be like, "Did you know that Graeme from Homefront once owned a video store?" And then people will be like, "What the hell is a video? Yeah, why would anyone have a store selling them?"
And did everyone wonder why I didn't have any soap in the back room? Like,
there you go. There you go. James went there. I remember that. James went there. And he couldn't tell his fortune because he could only do it in Japanese.
Honestly, I'm sold.
There you go. You know, this like, I'm not a noise guy. Like, I don't know if, you know, people who are super into noise maniacs, how they will view this record. I think people like the Mammalia record from the 80s. So if you like that, you're going to like this. Check it out. It's on General Speech. It's out there for like, it's new. It's out there. It's available. So check it out.
Cool. If the artwork looks pretty cool too.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, you can get this on a t-shirt, $60.
Oh, that would look good, especially the way you guys like, you know, like silk screen that. It'd just be like a big mat on your chest. It would look sick. I feel the definition would translate great.
There you go. That's my first pick. S.K.V and Kazu 23 or Nissan.
Nice.
Marobashi, which means like phantom, I think.
Nice.
General Speech. There you go. All right, Ian. What's your first pick? What you got?
Do you say that was at an Italian bar that they played live?
It actually says, hang on. Yes, it's called Hot Buttered Club. It's closed down now, and it says it was in Shibuya, and it says that it was like an Italian wine and DJ bar. Is that
my kind of place?
Right. So
too hot to handle.
There's a lot of funny liner notes, but I won't read them out. You can, when you get the record, you can read them.
This is how I'm gonna tie in my first pick.
Cool,
because it's an Italian band.
Oh,
so this is like this one-off 7-inch that came out, I think, in like 2010, but originally was like a CDR in 2009.
Hold on, you have my attention now. You said CDR.
And I heard about it for the first time like when Maximum Rock and Roll had their like year-end lists or whatever at that
Top
time.
10 CDRs dropped this year.
No, this is for the record. This is for the record,
okay, sick.
not the studio.
He's like,
But
the cover
anyway,
was lost.
they were talking about this 7-inch by this Italian band, and it was like described as having like weird synth interludes with like Italian hardcore with drum machine. And I was like, okay, I gotta find this record. And so it's by this band called Fogna.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I've heard of Fog Hat.
They're from Sicily, but yeah, they just like, this is all they have. There was a tape that came out last year that's like forgotten recordings that was like around the same time, but I think it's like, it sounds like it has real drums.
Oh, sick.
There's something about this record. It's like I love Italian hardcore and I love drum machines and synths, so it's like this kind of perfect mix. But
The ultimate mix.
The ultimate mix. But like, it's like I don't know anyone that knows about it. The only person I know that knows about it is Paco. And I like this a while ago, and he said that anytime he sees it, he buys it and will just like give it to a friend.
Wow.
I don't know how many were pressed ever, but like I found this somewhere in the States on a tour once, but I love it. And I mean, it's from 2010. I think I found it in like 2014 or something, but it's like on, you can listen to it, I think, on YouTube or something, but it's so good. Like, and I think that the drum machine like adds to it. Like it's definitely like a hardcore record. But it like, I don't know. It's like, it's perfect. It's
like, is it like fast hardcore? Or is it just like,
yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Because the only time I ever really hear fast drum machine is like what's that Second Skin thing where they have like Courts and Wars and it's got that like fast drum machine going on in the background.
No, it's like full on like programmed to be like hardcore drums, but
that's sick.
Sounds like drum machine, but then with this, there's like this really like the recording and the production is so good. Like the atmosphere is so dark and creepy, and like I would say like the only like it sounds like that band like Neurogasmo.
Okay.
It sounds like them with a drum machine.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't know.
Neurogasmo was killer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that. I haven't actually even heard that name in a long time, so I was like, "Oh, that's sick."
Kind of dark, hardcore, like gothic.
Yeah, like I feel like the guitars are kind of like have the chorus-y kind of guitar, but it's like it's such a good Italian hardcore record, and it's with drum machines, and the synth stuff that like kind of bookend the record are like really cool too. I don't know.
That's sick.
It has a title. It's in Italian, and I'm not gonna even attempt this.
Come on, let's do it.
No, I don't even. I mean, it doesn't even say it on the cover. But anyway,
that's
great.
sick.
That's my pick.
Beautiful.
Okay, well then, I guess since we're still talking Italy, I may as well switch up my records here. So anyway, my first pick is Italian record, probably. I think it's like 75, 74.
Wow.
Let me just check. Anyway, it's this record. It's called the band is called Children of the Morning. Oh yeah, here it is. It's on this side. It's like similar record, Children of the Morning.
Wow,
like that. And then this the song is called Hey America. Anyway, this single. I got turned on to it because I found a previous single from them, which was really dodgy looking when I saw it in a record store in France. I think it was at Born Bad in Paris, and it was in like their dollar bin. And actually, it was this single called Ku Klux Man.
Jesus Christ.
And I saw this and I was like, this, like, it just like kind of made my heart like sink into my stomach, you know? And the guy's like, oh, no, it's more of like a glam record. And I was like, oh. So I put this one on, and it was like kind of terrifying. I was listening to it. I was like, oh, this is like really weird. Like, but it's still kind of a glammy song, but it's really, it's like an anti-racist song, obviously. And it's like very anti-KKK. But it was like, you're listening to it, the way the production was, and maybe the headphones and the setup. I was like, oh, this is weird. So I bought it, and it was like, the guy sold, it was like €1 or something like that.
Damn.
But when I found the second one, just again with interesting artwork, this is like an the song is it's an anti-Vietnam War song, and it's all about like I think it was during the Kent State Massacre, so that had happened, so they kind of made this tune. And what it sounds like, this one doesn't sound like the Ku Klux Man single. This one is more like it's kind of like psychedelic, almost like psychedelic rock, because there's like backwards guitar and stuff on it, and this like crazy percussive thing going on throughout it. It's a really batshit kind of sounding tune, but it's like it's really interesting to me because it was just like the song is really kind of catchy. It had like this cool, like the lyrics are super political. And the other thing that I felt was really interesting was from the time that this came out, they even like they swear in the chorus, and you're like, whoa, it just didn't seem like it didn't seem like that was a common thing. Anyway, this band, so this band with Children of the Morning, they're from Italy. I'm not sure where, but I'm not like, I don't know a lot about them. So if anyone knows more about them, all I know is this cover, this picture sleeve is not common. Like I looked it up on Discogs, and there's about like, and I was like, this can't be this. Like I was going through, and there's so many variations on the cover sleeve. So there was one that was like, you know, like an American flag, like, you know, a baby with like, I don't know, a huge boner. No, I don't know. Like it was just like, you know, but like it was like this is the cover where I remember when I saw this, it was like, oh, like this can't be the same band. And then, you know, I instantly flashed back to when I found the Ku Klux Man one. I was like, well, that was rocked me a little bit, but it's just like a cool kind of glammy, but kind of in the vein of like like 70s psych when it would kind of mix with glam. So it's a really it's a cool song, really crazy production on it, and I think like I don't know anything about them, to be honest.
So they've never been like comped on like on one of these like junkyard glam comps or anything like that?
I actually think there might have been a book where maybe the Ku Klux Man single was in a book that I saw, but it could have also just been like a history book, and I was like, oh, there's a big Ku Klux Klan, man. But I can't remember like if I'd seen that before, but I know like for me and like my brother and some pals, we were all like big fans of the single, this one especially.
Wow.
And the other one is interesting. I've never actually DJ'd the other tune, but I have DJ'd like this Hey America song, and people are always like, what is this? Because it's kind of a strange like, I don't know, strange recording. But yeah, I don't know. Children of the Morning, this is the scary one that I'll just peek up.
It's okay to show it.
What year are those from?
Well, I think, let's see, I like, to be honest, I thought it's like early 70s. I know that, but okay, this one's 75, so I'm thinking this is maybe 75, 74. Whenever Kent State had happened, I'm thinking it's around that same, maybe the same year. I don't know. I guess I should probably check on if there's any year on it, but it looks like this is actually a French pressing of it, so I don't know. And the mood lighting that I have in here does not, I cannot read. I can only love, Mike. In this room with this kind of lighting is what I'm saying. But anyway, Children of the Morning, Hey America, and then the other one is called the Ku Klux Man.
As he said.
But this one.
Cool. I'm intrigued. All right, Zach, can you keep up the Italian?
I can't. I don't have any Italian stuff. Actually, you know what? I do. Actually. Let me rephrase that. I do have.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring this one out later because it's a total oddball pick. But this is Kobold, the Cave of the Lost Talisman on I'm at their Catastrophe Records. This is anybody who knows me and has had a conversation with me in the last, I don't know, 10 years knows that in addition to playing in bands and other stuff, I'm very, very enthusiastic and interested in vintage role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons, that kind of stuff. And I got really into dungeon synth which is probably the weirdest genre going, in my opinion, these days. But I love it, and I listen to it all day at work. I found that something about listening to music, totally instrumental music, you can just ignore while you're working, is like the best thing. So I got into it, and obviously, like, I like nerdy stuff, so it was right up my alley. But this label is really cool. They're from Italy. I don't know if Kobold is from Italy or not. I couldn't really find any information about where the band is based, but it's a super lo-fi, like dungeon synth. I think they call themselves Dungeon Wave or something, but it's like it sounds like a 8-bit video game soundtrack. There's definitely like a lot of the stuff on HDK. It's kind of a mixed bag. Like they for sure have tons of great dungeon synths. Some of it is this same sort of MIDI video gamey soundtracks. Some of it is way more synth heavy. It sounds like the Conan the Barbarian soundtrack or something like that. And then some of it is just more weirdo kind of noisy music. It's all over the place, but it's great. It's a cool label to check out. Most of their stuff is released on cassettes and very like minimally released on cassette. And once it's gone, it's gone. They've done a few things on vinyl. It's cool because it comes with like lots of extra. So it's got like the Obi strip on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then it also comes with like a
video game manual.
Is there any like increments?
Yeah, a full book,
like
Dungeons and Dragons style adventure.
Oh, hell yeah.
That they made to go along with the soundtrack. And it's like it's as a person who knows about this stuff, I can say
it's pretty cool. The art is killer on that too.
Yeah. Oh, the art is awesome. Yeah, it's very old school, sort of 1980s role playing game vibes. They nailed it. And the music is awesome too. And it's from Italy, so there you go.
Do you know like what year is that?
This came out,
like, is it like current or?
Yeah, it's current. This came out in 2017, but I think they still put stuff out like maybe once a year or something. The vinyl, the HDK vinyl is, lots of their releases never go to vinyl, and they've only done a handful of them, but I think it's a cool thing. It's a novelty kind of a thing, but I personally have, and definitely like, just I'm in my 40s, like growing up playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo, hearing 8-bit soundtracks, I'm sure there's some part of my brain that is like permanently smooth as a result of all the time I spent listening to that stuff as a little kid. And it just it kicks in for me every time I hear it. So
like if I hear the intro to like Blades of Steel, I just want to like instantly start fighting with my brothers, like start choking each other with the Nintendo cord.
Whereas like Blades of Steel, I always think of like at the beginning, the title screen, there was like it was Blades of Steel, and then there was like this shing kind of sound, like I'm like, perfect recall.
You can get a lot of that stuff, like a lot of the Nintendo like 80s like soundtrack things. You can get them on vinyl, right? There's these compilations like Capcom themes.
Yeah,
oh hell yeah,
I think so. I think a lot of that stuff is now like because everything is nostalgia
right
nowadays, and there's like crossing the swords there. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff out there. Kobold is not the most sophisticated dungeon synth out there, but it's a funny record. And
CDR release. what kind of CDRs are we talking?
I can get you one, Graeme, if you want, and I'll make sure it's a cool hand drawn.
Just written in pen on just a blank CDR. That'd be sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've had a few like dungeon synth like records and stuff shown on here. I just don't know where to start. It's like
it seems so daunting for me to like. I'm like, okay, Poison Ruin, okay.
That's a bit of a crossover, I think, for a lot of people. Because
it's not pure.
No, the bones of it is like a punk band, but then they use elements of dungeon synth in intros and other parts, which is kind of cool. And I kind of missed it when I saw them live. I was sort of like, I miss hearing the dungeon synth parts because that I like that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I also understand, that it's difficult to do that stuff when you're on the road.
Well, they actually every time we played with them and did stuff, they always had the.
Did they? Okay, the few times I've seen them,
it might have maybe that was like when they first started.
They have those sometimes. They said to take like drink breaks. They would just like.
That's smart though. That's really like. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like planning it out because you don't want to when you're on stage and you're performing and it's like sooner or later you have to tune your instrument, or you need to take a break to just have a sip of water or just catch your breath or whatever. But then if you're up there on the stage, all you're thinking about is like all the energy has just been sucked out of this room the minute the guitar stop or the drums stop. It's like I always feel like immediately self-conscious when you take that break. So I think it's totally smart to have these like and things that you can do and give yourself a little breather. And that's cool.
I was gonna add too that like I had a small stint of, I've only did like 2 campaigns of D&D, but when we were playing D&D, we would always listen to Dungeon Synth. Yeah, there's actually a really good YouTube page called Dungeon Synth Archives.
Yeah, Dungeon Synth Archives is so cool. It's so cool, and it's interesting. It's like an interesting genre because it goes way deeper than you think. Like it's something that really blew up in the last 5 years, but actually like they've been using the term Dungeon Synth since like the 90s.
Oh wow.
And there's people like Jim Kirkwood who did, just like really obscure, interesting releases that go way, way back. And there's a lot of really cool stuff out there right now, I think, that's happening. And even, I mean, cool probably should be in air quotes. It's cool if you're not there.
I saw Mayhem when they came here last, and Mortiz opened.
Yeah.
And he's like, considered like one of the early of that, and it was like a very funny, entertaining show. Kind of got repetitive, but like that's sort of a thing with Dungeon Synth too. But
totally. And I mean, I think it's like it's also interesting. Like there's so many parallels to other genres, like metal or punk, even that there's for sure sketchy Dungeon Synth too. There's for sure like I found some obscure Russian Dungeon Synth thing from the 90s that somebody sent me, and it's like you do a little bit of just scratch the surface, and it's like, oh, this is definitely some kind of weird racist overtones in here. And it's like you wouldn't think that would get into a genre that's basically like fantasy music, but it's there for sure. So I think it's an interesting little genre that has a lot more depth and weirdness to it than you might think.
Cool. All right, let's go round 2. So over the years, because it has been years now, been doing this. It's been years. Every now and then I'll drop in like a female Japanese like singer from the 70s, and I was very tentative about it at first. I was like, nobody's going to be that interested, but people seem to like it, and people usually like check out all these recommendations, which is pretty cool. It's nice to hear that people are checking out the stuff. Last time, the week before, I did Hako Yamasaki. People seem to love that first Hako Yamasaki record. Last week I did Doji Morita, who's like super dark. Actually, the week before that was Doji Morita, super dark. There's a lot of like great women singers from the 70s and 80s. I've got another one for you. This might be the best of all of them. I think this is the best of all of the ones that I've done. I've done Kama Maki, I've done Yano Akiko. She's great. Asakawa Maki. Everyone knows Asakawa Maki. She's pretty famous. This has just been reissued on P-Vine. Just came out like a couple of months ago. Amazing cover photography.
Whoa, there we go.
Yes. Cool. Yoshiko Sai. It's her first album from 75 called Mangekyo or Kaleidoscope. There you go. So, she was a poet and a painter in Kyoto, failed at poetry, failed at painting, couldn't get into Kyoto University of Art, so started putting her poetry to music. Man, this is a wild trip of a record. It's super psychedelic, but maybe not intentionally so. It's like super dreamy. It's one of those, it shifts the mood of the room when you put this on. It's one of those, it kind of starts off like 70s Pink Floyd and then goes into kind of like this Renaissance, like sing-songy, folky part. Then it gets jazzy and blues and it kind of sounds like Kate Bush, but it's just done like so seamlessly and beautiful. She's got kind of an operatic voice. There's some kind of David Gilmour style, like guitar noodling here and there. There's some traditional Japanese instruments. All the songs are about ghosts and loneliness and darkness and sadness, and it's quite a mood. It's quite a trip. It was produced. The productions are fucking amazing. It's very 70s though. It's like one of these. Maybe it's one of these records that if you buy a new needle for your stereo, you might use this one to like check out.
Test it out.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those. But it was produced by this guy called what's his name? Yuji Ono. Does that name sound familiar? Lupin the Third. The theme from Lupin the Third.
No, of course.
he wrote that. He produces this record. He plays organ on it too. So that's quite a big name to get on your first record, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Gets a little funky, like in the 70s, like Cocaine, Pink Floyd, Animals, funk kind of way. But what again? It's like a lot of it's very 70s, like kind of singer-songwriter, but these like operatic like vocals with like the Japanese melodies just gives it this like darkness to it. That's just like I don't know.
Like listening to In the Dark is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, man. It's like I don't take any drugs of any kind, but you kind of
Start
this this record kind of takes you somewhere. Like I don't know where, but it kind of takes you somewhere. It's a journey.
I mean, I kind of feel like that when I listen to Disorder. Like I'm like I don't have glue, so I'm like I'm the master of the glue universe. Like I should start. I'm like they make this seem awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if these records. This was okay. It got reissued 4 years ago, sold out immediately. It got reissued again like a couple of months ago. All her back catalogue is being reissued. She does the artwork too, and like
that artwork looks sick.
So I mean, these are her drawings. I mean, the music sounds like this.
You had me sold on that one.
There you go. This is what's this called? Then this one. Look at this. I mean, it's just beautiful. This one.
Oh, sold.
Dream of a Fetus. And then like she kind of dropped the kind of like, more psychedelic elements, and then the artwork changed to just back to sort of just the photograph. This is great too, 4th LP. And then she disappeared.
Wow,
4 LPs in 4 years, then nothing. Gone. And then remember our man with the fortune telling shop?
I was just gonna say,
remember that guy?
Back. Yep.
Hey, here he is, man. Here's my man. Jojo Hiroshige.
No way.
Yoshiko Sai. Together. Improvisational noise guitar. How this happened, I have no idea. But it happened in 2021. Like she came back after doing nothing since like 78 and made a record with Jojo Hiroshige, which is kind of...
He came to have her fortune read, and he was like, "You're going to put out a new record."
He's like, "I'm back to my job in 39 years."
And he's like, "Hands off my fucking hockey cards, bud." He's like, "Hey, babe." He's like, "Babe, this fucking pro set's going for a pretty penny."
It's wild, and this is a great record too. It's called Crimson Voyage. Amazing, like Jojo Hiroshige's, like he's like similar to Kazu, like psychedelic noise guitar, and then her singing on the top, and it's amazing. So
did she do that cover too?
You know what she did? Yeah.
Her covers are crazy. Was she talking to a pickle? What's that?
It's a fish. It's a green fish.
So I don't mean
pretty close.
Hillbilly art time with.
There you go. Yeah, I love this. I love Yoshiko Sai. I think she's amazing. And then she kind of did some live gigs after this, and there's some live albums and stuff. I haven't heard them, but like all these things, like start at the beginning. If you like what you hear, keep going. Cool. Keep going forward. She's much darker and like has more depth to the records than like some of the other the records from the 70s by female singers that I've shown. It's kind of deep
That's
stuff.
Cool.
That record that you showed, that was like the first one?
Yes, the one that my first pick. That's my like official.
That's your official pick.
That's my official pick. But I had to show the others. They just look so cool, right? So
yeah.
And then the Jojo Hiroshige one is like a must to like introduce. Yeah, this is the first album.
Oh yeah.
Maniaco. It's been released in France. What's that label? We make whatever we want. The fuck we want.
We release whatever the fuck we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did a pressing of this too just recently, so that's out there too.
Wow. That looks sick.
It's pretty sick. It's a deep record. It's cool.
Okay, let's let Ian take us away from anything deep and show us something.
We're now coming out.
It's great.
I like had this just kind of in my like recent listening like pile of records for a while now because I just upgraded my copy. But this is like I also was like thinking I was like I should bring some weird Canadian records.
Hell yeah.
And so this is this weird, amazing kind of like it's like psychedelic hippie music basically, but it's this band Syrinx.
Oh,
Look at
sick.
that.
It's from 1970. This guy, the guy, he like wrote all the stuff. John Mills Cockle. He's like credited as, I think, being like the first Canadian guy to use a Moog synthesizer. So he plays like Moog and piano, and then there's a guy playing saxophone, and then there's like hand drums and gongs and stuff, and it's like
Songs of my people, Mike.
I'm just saying, it's not dungeon synth, but it has like this like
Tell me more.
it has like medieval whimsy about it all.
Ooh, I love a whims.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, and there's like this like my favorite track on it is called "Chant for Your Dragon King."
Hell yeah, I do that all the time.
No more.
Screaming.
I'm in.
But like it's just like a classic.
Oh,
like,
that is sick.
Canadian psych record, and they also they got like commissioned by the CBC, which is like the big Canadian like
It's like the
media
BBC, but
corporation,
change the B for a
to
C.
do the theme song of they did the theme song for Here Come the 70s. I don't know that this
Okay.
show in the 70s, and they did like a 7-inch of that theme song, but this is like I love it. And it's kind of like I found my first copy for like $1 at Goodwill. Like it's like a dollar bin kind of record. But even now, like the copy I just upgraded, it was like only like $20. Like it's like a pretty probably not gonna find it in Japan, but it's like kind of easy to find, I guess.
There might be a
I
Japanese person.
I got-
Load it up, Ian. It's gonna be like tomorrow on eBay, $300.
Yeah,
Right.
I guarantee it.
They
then-
also have
And then
They
next thing you know, you'll be on your knees singing to the Dragon King or whatever, singing right into his horn.
Cockle phone.
Yeah,
they have a second record called Long Lost Relatives. It's not as good.
that's a
But
sick cover too.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
well, and actually this label, I think it was in like 2016 or 2017. It's called like RVNG Limited or something. They did this compilation called Tumblers from the Vault, and I think it's like both albums and whatever like little extras they had. But yeah, I don't know, just like it's like total. I feel like if it was like a krautrock record, like actually like from Germany, people would be like
All over it.
losing their shit, but it's just this fucking Canadian record from Ontario. And it's
He's
maybe
like, oh yeah, we just played between pickup games, eh, boys? While they clean the ice, they fire on Dragonhorn.
and like I feel like it has this kind of like this like cohesive atmosphere to it, but the first song on the side B is like maybe a bit like has some jazzy kind of influence to it, but it's still really good. But it's I don't know, I love it.
Sphinx.
Where in Ontario was it from, Ian?
Yeah,
Hearings.
Syrinx.
Syrinx.
Yeah, I
Syrinx.
think they might have thought that was a P and an R. They're like,
I did.
"It's
Well-
Sphinx? No, Syrinx."
It was actually recorded in Vancouver and Toronto, but I think the band or whatever, like they were a Toronto band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. I actually got to keep my eyes out. I love a good dollar record.
Yeah,
I know, and the cover is like really.
I know it looks
I would buy
insane.
that. We would buy that.
I
right?
would too. Like if I did
Yeah.
see that, I'd probably
With
be
the
like, if this is $1, I just got to get it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Little guy
No
like flying
question
on a
asked.
magic carpet or whatever the hell's going on with the pickle from the other cover. Okay, so maybe I'll stick with Canada then.
All right, all right.
All right. Okay, so this is just again like the like going on kind of like what Ian's talking about, just kind of like maybe this is more like from my homeland. This is an Edmonton record. But it's like it's cool because it's like obviously when a lot of people think of Edmonton, it's always SNFU, stuff like that. And one of the bands that I always think kind of gets glazed over, and they actually put out a single at the time. I'm sure Ian knows exactly what I'm going to talk about, but this band called Down Syndrome. This single right here, and this is like from Edmonton. This is like this is more kind of like Edmonton, like '84, but it's kind of more like getting into like the kind of like Discharge, kind of like GBH vibe of things. So, you know, it's also kind of still has a lot of like Edmonton hillbilly kind of stuff in it when you see pictures of these guys, because you know they're just like, oh fuck yeah. But like one of the things that's great too is they even have a shout out in the thing where they're like, we are not called Down syndrome because of a man named Down who founded the genetic disorder. So they fucking breaking it down. And yeah, and it's great just seeing like the photos of like kind of like the old punks and like from our neck of the woods back in the
They do have like the ripped up like photo Discharge style, right?
Yeah, that's, you know, like it's got like, and they got like I believe they even have like the full poster too. This was like Black Sun Records, and yeah, they had one of these big layout things, you know. Sorry, this
there you go.
And you know, it's a really fucking slamming record. Like I wasn't gonna do this, but I was thinking of like, you know, I was just kind of thinking of like stuff from where we're from, and I put this on and I was just like, man, this still cooks. Like it's like the tunes on there's two songs in particular. One song called Solitary Confinement. It's really banging, but the big song, and I don't even know if this is on YouTube. I know one song is for sure, but the song called Suicidal Eyes is just really, really great. It's got this like, you know, it's just in that total UK 82 vein, and I just think that it's just like, but it was kind of from where we're from, but it was like at the time US hardcore was obviously a big thing. So when I was growing up, there was definitely like kind of a line in the sand between like people who liked, you know, the US hardcore, but it was kind of like US hardcore like through like Dayglow Abortions, like that kind of thing, even though they're Canadian, but that was kind of like that kind of scene. And then there was like the people who were like into like Discharge and GBH and all that kind of stuff. So there was kind of a weird disconnect between some of the guys that I were my senior, you know. But anyway, it made me laugh when you were making that showing that record there, Ian. I also thought this is the part B of just a classic Canadian record, but this made me think of like Dollar Bin Records from Edmonton. And there's this band called Showdown. Welcome to the Rodeo. And I don't know if you can see these guys, they're on like little motorbikes. But if you're ever in like in our neck of the woods, there was a song that these guys did called the Rodeo Song. And it's even got some of the lyrics on it where it's well, it's 40 below, you know, and I don't give a fuck. Sorry for your listeners.
All right,
it's like 40 below. We don't give a fuck. Got a heater in my truck and I'm off to the rodeo. And if I start singing that in a bar, everyone knows the words to that tune. So it's like, so this was not like Down syndrome, but it's just as stupid because it's like, this is just like this is the humor. This record, by the way, is absolutely terrible, but
I thought so, yeah.
But this song is Rodeo Song. Blow your trousers clean off. Like if you hear that, you'll be, you know, when you're drinking with your boys, you'll just be like, yeah, this is sick. But anyway, that's just kind of like the attitude out here is just kind of like, you know, everyone here is just kind of got like a kind of a sick sense of humor. And like, then when you have a band like Down Syndrome, where it's just kind of like serious and just like, you know, it's got the cool imagery, and it was just kind of like one of those things that tied us to like our city from the, you know, early 80s to like some of the UK stuff that was going on, or Swedish stuff. Like, you know, like there used to be like a Maximum Rock and Roll like radio show in like 82 at our like university station, and they would play, like they would get all the records from all over the world. So you would get like stuff from like, you know, Sweden and Italy, like Japanese hardcore stuff like that. Cause it would, for some reason, that radio station had its like thing listed in MRR as like places to send out records.
Wow.
So yeah. And yeah, so like, yeah, it was CJSR. It was like the Maximum Rock and Roll show was from like 82 to 85. I think Cameron had something to do with that. Anyway, this was like, and I kind of see that this band was probably picking up on a lot of the crazy stuff that was coming in. Like it would have been like, that would have been like the Tentacle into that world, because like I said, it would have been mostly at the time, it would have been like, like Circle Jerks would be touring through here, like 7 Seconds, or like, like great bands in their own rights, but like not tapping into that kind of, because when you listen to SNFU, you can obviously hear big influence on all that stuff. Like they were watching lots of skateboard stuff and like seeing what was going on. And they had the twin guitar stuff. And this was just straight up more like Showdown kind of stuff. They were just clearly just no. But anyway, yeah. So that's a little Edmonton hardcore punk history. So Down Syndrome, it's their only release, but it's like 6 songs, so it's longer than some CDRs. So yeah.
I really hope the rest of your picks are all Edmonton related, Graeme.
Oh, they all will be. Yeah, of course.
Really, I was surprised.
I got the radio rodeo song, and then I'm gonna have the fishing song, and then DZ the Dawn.
That's perfect. I was really surprised to see like we didn't get a single comment in the chat while you were giving us that little walk down history lesson.
How does no one know rodeo song?
They were too focused on
People
the
were taking
presentation,
notes,
to make a comment.
And that Showdown record is going to be next to Ian's record on eBay.
I guarantee you, if we go through like Ian's record collection, that Showdown record is in there somewhere. And you're a Saskatchewan guy, and I know it's in there. It is. He's hiding it. I know for a fact. It's like in the S's.
And if it isn't now, it will be tomorrow.
It will be. I'm actually going to sneak in a couple of. Anyway, rodeo song, hell of a tune, but Down Syndrome is that's actually the listen. But rodeo song kills. And when you hear it, Mike, you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
I can't wait.
So when you go back to school, start teaching,
all right,
you can teach them the chorus.
Will do.
Yeah, elemental left, elemental right. Come on, you fucking dummy, get your right step right. Get off the stage, you goddamn goof. Piss me off, fucking jerk. Get on my nerves. Anyway,
it'll be a hit with the kids.
I don't know why. I don't know how we followed that up. That should have been your last one, Graeme.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, it was. But I couldn't. I had to follow up like Ian with a dollar store Canadian record. So dollar binner. There it is. Showdown. Boom.
That's
all right. Zach,
hit that like and subscribe button right now.
Yeah, put it at the end. It's lost, right? Put it on prime peak viewing.
Yeah, prime. Yeah, when you get that Showdown
golden
thing,
time.
Watch that monetary value get up.
All right. Well, that's a tough act to follow, and mine is. This is not a very obscure record, but I think it's a pretty cool record. It is songs from the film by Tommy Keene, which was a band that I got into just a few years ago, even though I've always thought of myself as a bit of a power pop fan, but I just for some reason had missed the boat on Tommy Keene. But it's a pretty sick record. Like I think for people unfamiliar, if you're a Replacements fan, this is definitely going to be very much in the same wheelhouse. Really great guitar work on this, and the follow-up record based on Happy Times is an awesome, really, really good record as well. But I think both of them are kind of cool in that it's really jangly, pretty music, very melodic, but also lyrically a little darker, a little moodier than what you would typically get with this kind of like 80s power pop vibe. He's a pretty cool, like an interesting guy to learn about too, just in that he collaborated with the dude from Guided by Voices and backed him up on tour a bunch. And then also with Paul Westerberg, he toured as the guitar player for Paul Westerberg's like kind of solo stuff. And I was talking about him once with a friend who was like, well, he wasn't exactly connecting the dots on this, but just saying that sort of like, the Replacements shift from being kind of like a Minneapolis punk band to being more of that 80s pop kind of sound that, that really sort of made them famous. It really does kind of happen at the same time as Tommy Keene comes out and makes records that sound like this. And so it was like, maybe this is stuff that the Replacements were listening to when they went and made their shift. And then, further to that, the fact that Paul Westerberg later brought Tommy Keene in to play guitar for him on tour.
That's cool.
it's kind of just an interesting thing. He's also kind of, it's like he's openly gay dude making power pop, like pop music in the 80s as well. And this interesting sort of piece of his story too. I think he passed away, I think in 2017 or something like that, but pretty prolific. Like he's tons and tons of records, just under his own name, but also collaborated with shitloads of people and just was like a hired gun on tour for tons of people as well. So somebody who was out there for a long time doing his thing. And I got this one in Japan actually recently. So that's why I picked this one, because it was the last record I bought when I was on tour in Japan.
Oh, really? Where'd you get it?
I was trying to remember that because I knew you were going to ask it. It was in Tokyo, and I don't remember the name.
Okay.
And it was kind of an outlier. It was mostly punk and hardcore stuff in that shop. And then I pulled that one out of the.
Wasn't Nat Records, was it? NAT?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Name is, but anyway, yeah, recent score for me, but very cool record. I like every song, and I think the follow up is great as well. Based on
cool. I kind of remember like maybe it was like a year or two ago. You sent me one of the songs, and I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but it was really sick. Like,
oh
yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, I mean, if you like power pop, you like 80s pop, that kind of stuff, like you can kind of get lost in those records. There's a lot of the musicianship is great. And like I say, like there's just something about the lyrics and the contents of the songs that feels a little bit like nicely incongruous with the sort of prettiness and the jangliness of the music, to have this kind of darker and moody and almost nihilistic lyrics on some of the songs. So for me, that just feels very dynamic and kind of interesting. It's a cool record.
That's cool.
Beautiful. Cool. Very cool. Nice. My turn again, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We're on
shot 3. I know how deep you guys mess around on the YouTubes. Like, I'm kind of addicted to YouTube, and I go down all sorts of rabbit holes. Usually it's a waste of time. Sometimes it'll throw you up a little nugget of gold. And on Wednesday of this week, it presented to me a little nugget of gold in this Japanese band that I've been living here for years. I've never heard of this band, like not even once. I've never even heard anybody even mention them even once. And all of a sudden, like one song pops up on YouTube by this band. And I'm like, man, that's a great song. And I listened to 3 more songs, 5 more songs, 10 more songs, maybe 15 songs in total.
Wow! So you got sold.
I actually sent you guys one song on the chat.
Right.
It was a live performance. Like it was a little, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good performance, though. I thought of that song. But the band I'm talking about is this band, and the only thing I've got by them, because I only discovered them on Wednesday, so the only thing I've got by them to show is their 9th album. This band has put out 10 albums since 2010. Pretty prolific band. And I say band, really, it's we'll get to it, but this is the band I'm talking about, Kinoko Hotel.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I just remember, I never heard of them until you sent me that.
I mean, I've been sending it that link and other links. People, like, so far, everyone's been like, man, this band is really good. And like, but, this is their 9th LP. This woman is called Marianne. And it's hilarious because she's on the front cover of every single one of their records. She's on the front cover. She's the leader of the band, but she calls herself the hotel manager.
Whoa.
Like Kinoko Mushroom Hotel is the name of the band in English. Kinoko Hotel. I don't know if it has like another meaning in Japanese, but I actually saw they've got a new album out, or CD only, and she's actually upgraded herself to
tell me more.
Hotel.
Wait, you got the first 2 letters right?
I was laughing quite hard because I had to kind of check them up on Discogs. They've had 10 different women in this band since 2010. Every single other name has been crossed out on Discogs.
Oh, so you're thinking
I don't know. It's like whether the manager is like, I just got to cross, or like, I don't know.
She's like, the sheets you laid down gave everyone pink eye, so you are out of the hotel.
Ex-employees of the hotel kind of thing. It's like, but man, this woman, I mean, and every record is called something like, this is called Marianne's Scriptures. She's like,
wow.
The new album's called Marianne's 10 Commandments. It's getting like, she's pretty confident lady, But like some of the old records are like Marianne's Temptation, There's an album called Marianne's Ecstasy, Marianne's Curse,
Ooh,
Marianne's
these
Day
ones.
Off, Marianne's Day Off from the hotel. Like they're all
that'd
called
be
Marianne something with her on the cover, and I haven't listened to them all. But man, this band, okay, really, I'll try and kind of tell you what they sound like. If any of you guys have heard this, like Japanese girls, like 60s pop, like compilation from the 60s.
Well, that's what it sounded like when you sent me the.
Yeah, they take that as a bass and then like kind of add like punk and garage rock and psych and other influences and a lot of like 90s J-pop, which I kind of noticed that the J-pop side is increased the further you go into the catalog. So this, you know what I mean? So it gets kind of more and more commercial and poppy as you go along, right? So but even this one, like it has some like super poppy like pop songs, then it'll go into like this like super dark like Interstellar Overdrive kind of sounding like jam with like it's pretty cool, you know. It's like they
go to the different part of the hotel that's like a little shady. This is where everyone turns the fork into a knuckle duster.
No, I never like become addicted to a band so quickly, and it's like
that's not true. What about the first time you heard Mac Lads?
Apart from the Mac Lads. apart from them. I was going to ask a technical question actually about this band because Marianne, she sings and she's great. She has like some of this pop, the vocals can be like in the really like the cutesy like higher range, which she does do that a bit, but she has like a lower range voice. I've heard her speak. She has a very deep like husky voice, but she also plays a Nord Electro keyboard. If anyone is familiar with what one of those is, I had to look it up.
I know a Nord.
It's like this red.
Yes,
it's like a red keyboard.
Yes,
I feel like
that's an Ian question for sure.
Yeah,
I knew. I thought
you're asking me. I'm like instantly thinking like cross country skis.
Because I would say if I saw someone like a band like play. If I saw a band and the keyboard player was playing a Nord Electro, like it'd be like
exactly what they do.
It's like a jazz guy thing. I don't know. It's like it's not an interesting synth.
It's a modern machine, right? It's made in Sweden, and they have like they have like Farfisa and Vox and Hammond B3 emulators on it, right?
Yeah, it's more like I would say if you're like an organ piano kind of thing.
Yeah, but like, somehow. She gets this fucking amazing, like warbly, like sound out of this Nord keyboard, and
cool.
She does. I know what you mean. It's like I was thinking of this other band the other day. There was another band that has a keyboard player, and on record, it might be that's it. They're a Canadian band. That do metal band with the female singer, Blood Ceremony.
Blood Ceremony. I was just actually.
They have a lot of like vintage keyboard sounds, and I went and saw a live video, and there's this like guy with this tiny little like one machine, you know, and it was like, you know, I thought you were going to have the John Lord, you know, Keith Emerson, you know, like banks of keyboards, you know,
have something cool to look at. Instead, it's like,
but it's fine, it's sound, but then but I didn't really get that vibe of this band. I think she stood at the front of the stage singing with that red like machine in front of her, and she fucking attacks it too, man. She's not afraid to like beat the hell out of it. So yeah, great band.
That's cool.
But do not
start with
album
number 9.
The 9th album. It's, you know, do not, as always, go to the beginning and work your way.
I'm always go to the end, work your way back. That's how I tell all my stories. Right. Every time I tell a story, you start with the end first, you work your way back, and then.
I mean, I know it's like a lot of the stuff only came out on CD, and then they kind of released it on vinyl on Record Store Day in Japan only. And they've been on like 8 different record labels, like 10 different women in the band, and like.
Are they like a national treasure? Like they're like big deal, or? I
think they're in that sort of like, they're not like an underground DIY band. They play in like slightly bigger venues. I know for a fact that they want to be a bigger band, but I think they're too like they're not commercial enough. Even like this stuff, it's too like there's still enough like material on here, which is like even was like fuck. This sounds like Interstellar Overdrive or some like deep. The 5th record's good too. Yeah, you know.
Started on the 5th.
Start on the 5th. Either go back or forward. I think that's about it. But
from being a little, that makes me think of being like a little kid when I was first getting into music, and in the 90s, and you'd get like you'd go to the music store and you could only get like the third or fourth GBH CD or something like that. I think the first GBH CD I ever heard was like Punk Junkies or something like that. What's the deal? Like, what's the big deal with this band? Like, why does everybody like GBH? I couldn't wrap my head around it until a few years later, when all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I found like that Ha Ha album by GBH on vinyl. That's like, I think that's one of the only ones. And
was that 2002 or something?
Yeah, and people are like, that was the first GBH album that I heard. And like in 2002. And then
that's so crazy.
Right, but
But I mean, that was the way, like, especially where we're all from. Like, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get, like, I remember the same thing. You'd go and you'd be like, "There's a DR." Like for me and most of my pals, it's like if you listen to DRI, it was like Four of a Kind and like Crossover or Thrash Zone, like that era. And then I heard Dealing with It when I was like in my 20s, and I was like, "Whoa, this is totally crazy."
Yeah, but it's like I heard. I mean, we could go on about this, but it's like Never Say Die, Black Sabbath was like one that I heard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. But I was going to say, I was talking about like this mixture of like pop and like then like psychedelic like stuff too. But I mean, Pink Floyd did that.
Yeah, of course.
And they had like See Emily Play, which is like a 60s pop song. And then they had the weird psychedelic stuff too. So it's not that weird that a band does pop stuff and
look at
stuff on the same record. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
well, look at even Black Sabbath. You're like, how many they started putting out like kind of pop kind of stuff too, and like, I mean, Never Say Die, is that the one that also has the Bill Ward song? It's
the last song on the album.
It's the best, one of my favorite Sabbath tunes, and it's totally on Sabbath.
It's heavy, kind of heavy in a different way. It's a weird song to like, end like that era of the band. Have like Bill Ward, totally. Song. But anyway. Actually, a great tip is to go on YouTube, because this band has amazing promo videos too that are like mini, like film noir, like vignettes, like there's like
all hotel based. And you have me sold to that. Continental breakfast? No, sir.
Like so they've obviously got some money. Like there's money in there for the videos for sure, but there you go. Kinoko Hotel, Mushroom Hotel. Tokyo. There you go. All right. Ian, what's your hotel-based pick?
Tied together.
I'm actually going back to Canada.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
My other CanCon pick. I can't remember how I heard about these. I think I was working at this record store in Edmonton called Listen Records, and I think we had the reissue. I can't remember when it came out, but it was on this label called Medical Records. But I gave Graeme my reissue once I found the original. But it's this one man synth punk album. He's only did this one album. It's called Lou Champagne System.
Boom.
No visible.
Fucking great record.
Yeah, it's also Ontario too, which is unfortunate, but but yeah. So the songs were all recorded in 81 and 82, which is actually kind of crazy. But the record came out, I think, in 84. But he put it out himself. It's on Pterodactyl Records.
Great bird.
But he like in the liner notes, it says the Lou Champagne System is a real-time guitar synth solo act that uses a special guitar and hookup invented by Lou. It allows him to play guitar and sound like a whole band with no tapes.
Wow.
So
like it's called a cable. So you plug it in and
as far as I can figure out, it sounds like he just was like, in 81, 82, I guess like synth and drum machine stuff was more primitive, and hooking it all up to make sense, a bit harder. But so I think he played live, and I think that's the thing. Like, played live, which I would love to, if there was like any videos or anything of that. But
because you probably feel like it's like probably a different sounding performance every time they play.
Yeah, but and like in 81, 82, or even up to 84, like if you're doing it all yourself,
I know.
and you're
Be
it all
insane.
up, like, I bet you like some of those shows were total disasters. But
Especially with Canadian audiences back then, they'd be like, "Buddy, get fucking with it."
but it's an amazing, right? It's like it doesn't really sound like anything else though. Like it's very, and I don't even know if it sounds like Canadian, but it sounds
Oh,
like
definitely. It's
right.
I love this record that Ian showed this to me. When did you give it to me? Like 2 years ago? Maybe a year ago.
A year ago, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just such a crazy sounding record. And I think when you think about it geographically, it's like kind of what makes it even more unique sounding, I think, because it's like you could tell what he was probably influenced by, but it's still like it's more one of those things that because of the equipment, it makes the sound however it sounds, right? It's like, there's percussive stuff to it. It's like,
I mean, it's like drum machine and synth and guitar stuff, but like the songs are like weird and kind of quirky too. And like the last song is called Silent Walking, and it's kind of more of like a dirgy, kind of like slower one. And like, it's so good. It's like, it's probably my favorite song on the album, even though like there's a lot of like fun, like upbeat ones. But I also love that like the cover is him.
He looks sick.
It looks awesome.
Then the back cover is like the alien version of him with those sunglasses.
Wow.
He's like this blob.
That's sick.
But yeah, I don't know how many, like it was like essentially like a private press. Like, you only did this one record on this Pterodactyl Records, and that's it. But yeah, it's awesome. If you like,
where is this guy like did some pioneering shit, like came up with a way to make these synth sounds that that other people like, what's he doing? He became like a elementary school teacher after this.
I was having a Zamboni.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I actually can't remember if there was like good liner notes in that reissue I gave you.
Yeah.
But,
the
artwork was cool too. Like, I don't know, like even like on the, like, I don't know, it's a really cool record, and the fact that it's came out of nowhere in Ontario in the 80s, probably till like, I don't even know like how he like distributed or whatever, but I'm glad it got reissued because I would have never.
Okay.
Well, it's also funny, like, because like Canada has that weird history of like kind of pioneering like electronic kind of stuff too, like Ohama and like and like in from Calgary, and then it's just like, again, guys out in the prairies just building, like having this crazy modular synth collection.
Yeah, Ohama lived on a potato farm in Alberta. Yeah. And like,
it's just
now his stuff is like reissued on Minimal Wave.
Yeah.
And
it's just like,
someone asked in the chat if it got reissued. It got reissued in like 2016 or something on Medical Records. And I don't know about that label. That label does more like electronic and like kind of techno-y stuff. So, but yeah, it's a really cool, weird, and unique record, and it's very weird that it's just this Canadian record.
Ian, let's get the name of the band and the guy, the title again, one more time.
Lou Champagne System.
Okay.
No Visible Means.
There you go.
Very sick.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess for the next one I'm gonna pick is one I don't know anything of, and it was kind of like a blind purchase, just based on like the cover. And I didn't know where they were from or anything like that, but it was like, I don't know, I got it for like €6 on tour somewhere. But the band is called, like, this is the record. The band is called Die Jew Tegan Werdig, which I looked it up, and
pronunciation correct. Looked it up.
Yeah, so. Of course. Yeah. I looked it up. It means Youth of Today. So it's like, so, cool. But before that they were called like Anarchists on Dope or something. And I think that's what that
sounds familiar.
So I think they're okay. Like the word, when I looked it up, it said it's Dutch, but they're actually Belgian.
Okay.
I did look it up and anyway, this song, it's called Wij. It is the most fucking insane sounding song. Like it's kind of just like this dirgy kind of like, when like Disorder have like on Perdition, they have a couple of those songs that's just on the toms where it's like it's kind of just kind of going. It's like that, but it's really weird. Like the effects that they put on everything. The voice has like 3 or 4 different like chains of delay going at once, and it's just like this sounds mental. And I remember when obviously I was gravitated by the fucking sick ass artwork. I'm like, this has got to be good. But I remember the guy. Oh, actually, you know what? I bought this in Edmonton, and again, this is just kind of remembered that I bought it, and I was like, "There's no way." Like it, I remember thinking, "How the hell did this get here?" And again, when we were just talking about that Maximum Rock and Roll show, maybe because this is from '84. And I don't know a lot about this band other than that this single sounds mental to me. Like this tune is really heavy and it's really cool. And like I said, like the vocals really kind of got me because it just came out of nowhere. I don't think this has ever been reissued. I don't know if it's on any comps or anything like that, but if it is, I could be wrong. But I looked it up and it is on YouTube. I think it had a cool 119 views on it, so I was like, oh, okay, it might have like I don't know if it's had the circulation that, but the one thing that I thought was really great about it too is it's on Roadrunner, but it's clearly not Roadrunner, the metal label. It's like this bird with like, a hefty breast, and anyway, there's 3 songs on it, and one of the songs is called Anarchist on Dope, but written in Belgian or Belsh, as the Canadians would call it. But anyway, this is just like a really psycho sounding single. And again, when I was trying to put a little list together of stuff to rock, I just put this on and I was just like, I kind of just like, I was just like, just stood there just listening to how insane this record sounds. Wow. Specifically this tune. The rest of it's cool. It just sounds like really badly played, kind of like them trying to do UK82. Okay. This tune just sounds like if it was like electronic, you would be like, okay, this is just totally sounds like this could be like some really aggressive synth tune, but it's not. It's just like played with normal instruments. It's just recorded really weird, and they had such a cool approach to it. So this song really grabbed me out when I was like listening to it earlier in the week. And I remember when I bought this, the whole time I was like, one, I couldn't even figure out what the hell this band was called. I actually thought the band's name was just for the longest time. And so I don't even know what that means, but it's actually, Die Jung von Tegenwordig. So anyway, this is a really sick single, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's into just like savagely sounding music that doesn't sound normal at all.
Belgium is like not too well known for like.
Well, because like I'm a huge Hubble Bubble fan, and like so when I listen to Hubble Bubble, I love how there's times where I can only imagine how annoying and how punishing they were in the studio with a guy who's only used to recording rock bands, and they show up and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do the pogo twice, so fucking just keep going, it's gonna be faster and faster. And they're like have so much like tons of drugs in them, screaming at a guy and making the most fucking insane sound. And that's what Hubble Bubble was. And then when I listened to this De Jugend van Tegenwordig, I was just like, who the fuck recorded this? Like, it just sounds really savage, but it's really cool. And I don't know, like I'm assuming someone else knows who they are, because I saw there's 119 views on there, and it wasn't all me. So
all 119 of those viewers are in the chat right now.
Yeah, exactly. But it was it's a sick single, and I'm sure there's people who know all about them, but I know nothing about them. And I think the intrigue started because I found it in Edmonton. So I'm like, why is this here? But I'm glad I found it because it rules. So yeah.
Wow.
Youth of Today, Belgian.
That's a great pick. I'm definitely gonna listen to that as soon as we're done here.
Me too.
Yeah.
That always happens every week. We kind of quickly send each other links and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Last time you were just sending me like LinkedIn stuff for like you looking for a job. Like, Mike, I'm not gonna hire you as a teacher here. Like,
well, I didn't pick, and pretty much none of my picks are really super obscure, deep cuts like the rest of you guys are picking. So I don't think anybody is going to be educated by my next.
Not
But
at
I
all.
picked it
trust me, I
because
just showed a showdown record. Like
Right.
credibility left down.
I knew who I'd be talking about this with, and it's a record that I was like, I could talk about this record. There's a lot that I have to say about it, but it's Within These Walls
hell yeah.
by Toxic Reasons.
Underrated.
I was gonna say that's like the underrated one, right?
Oh yeah, this is such a good record, and it's one that, I mean, the reason that I was thinking about it because I was just like, I really quickly had to pull together a plan for what I was going to talk about tonight, and I was just digging. All my records have been packed up since we moved, so I had to like crack boxes and pulling stuff out, and I was right away. I pulled this one, and I was like, oh man, like it just immediately made me think about like when I first heard of it, even because. Kind of going back to our earlier conversation about how like growing up, we didn't have streaming, we didn't have all this stuff. You sort of got what you got, and I very much like when I got past that phase of getting into the 7th Circle Jerks record or whatever, and realized that like almost every band I liked, almost every band that I liked, the records of theirs that I liked were usually like the first two typically. And so there were so many bands that I was like, oh, there's a later Blitz record. Like, why would I fucking listen to that? Oh, there's later Toxic Reasons. Like, who cares? The first one is the jam. But then when we first started doing Spectres, we went on tour with The Estranged, and who are an awesome band and totally underrated in my opinion too. But they were like, those guys were like, oh man, like, have you guys ever listened to the later Toxic Reason stuff? And I just remember being like, well, no, I mean, I love that first record, but I don't really know what they did after that. And then they were like, oh, you should probably dig it. Like it's kind of in the vein of what you guys are playing. And then, so we just listened to Within These Walls so much on that trip. That was kind of the soundtrack for that trip for me. But it's such a cool record in that, you know, I really love, like, as a general rule nowadays, in my collecting, I love records where punks were trying to maybe punch a bit above their weight class in terms of how they were writing. They're trying to be sophisticated. They were trying to make something a little bit more meaningful and really like stretching themselves in terms of their musicianship. Like I love what came out of that for so many bands. And this record is like a perfectly like shining example of that, where you could tell like these guys, you know, were listening to, you know, probably all the post-punk stuff that was coming out of the UK and all this stuff, but also like it's a bit of a prize pack record. Like one song has like a very like Lords of the New Church kind of vibe to it, and then another one is more, you know, like more on the punk side and more driving. Like it's not super cohesive, even though the whole thing is like punk's trying to play kind of a new wavy sound. But for me, it's in a really good way. Like each song is very interesting, and the whole thing start to finish. It's a pretty short record too. Like there's not really any filler, including there's a ska song on here, which I was like, you know what?
They always threw a ska jam in there.
You know, I listened to it. I listened to this record this week in preparation, and I was like, I like it. It's good. Like, and it's got awesome saxophone on it, which is another thing that I love. Punks playing saxophone, and the sax on this record, the ska song, very, very good.
You know, it is funny though that like with Toxic Reason, everyone's like independence. It's like I love that record, but I actually think Kill by Remote Control is a better album.
I think so too.
And I feel that Bruce Stuckey was a better singer. Yeah, and like hearing his voice with guitar, I always thought it was better. Like I love it. And then like it's funny because you could tell that they kind of got on that where Chicago, because they're in like where were they from? They're in like Ohio, I think.
I think it's Cleveland or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember like where
Columbus,
they're from, but
like that,
yeah, they're from like in the Midwest. But you can tell that like when that record came out, you could tell like Naked Ray Gun was like very much experimenting with weird shit and like playing a lot of those same shows, and like Effigies were doing really weird shit from Chicago. So like you could tell that a lot of those bands were starting to like experiment more than what they had already done. And I feel like Toxic Reasons being like musician guys, because the players are really good in the band. I think that just kind of eventually like they all. I have a feeling like bands like Pill and like Wire had such a big influence on a lot of bands from that time. Like, I think Pill did a tour, and then Group Sex has like 5 Pill shirts in the one picture.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think like everybody was listening to whatever was going on, and this record like really feels like you can when you're listening to it, it feels like you can feel the enthusiasm these guys had for whatever was happening at the moment, and trying to just like push themselves into making a different sounding record in a way that like it is. I think a lot of people, it's not really on their radar, and Toxic Reasons in general is like maybe like third tier hardcore, you know, like not like not that they're like worse or anything, but just that they're not one of the big bands that you just always hear people name drop when they're talking about early hardcore.
To me, they're one of my favorite. They're my like.
That's great.
If I had my like, because I could say that like on like Independence, like track 1, song 1 is probably the best on that record, because it opens up with Mercenary, and that's like, if you don't fucking throw yourself through a wall when you hear that tune, it's just like you know what I mean? Like there's like legendary moments from Toxic Reasons, and I think they do get overlooked because they were Midwest. Like
totally. And they're Indianapolis is where they're from, which
that's it.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because years ago I was getting tattooed, and I showed up to the tattoo shop, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's funny that you're like that, you know, tattooing, like you're into punk or whatever." And then like the last guy I was tattooing was a punk guy who just wanted to get like a bunch of names of bands that he had been in. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder who it was. He's like, yeah, he was an older guy, and he's from the States, but he's Canadian, and he was getting like a bunch of band names. I was like, oh, well, what bands? And he was like, Toxic Reasons is one of them. And he got like this little logo.
Because the drummer was Canadian.
But he was like he had been there 15 minutes before I arrived. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. If I just showed up early, I could have like, you know, crossed paths with this dude whose records I've been listening to for years and years. So, but anyway, cool record. I was like, that's going to be a bit of a conversation piece.
No.
Bullets for You, also great, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bullets for You. And like, that's the one before that, right? And it's like, still in that, like, there's still hits on that record.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, they're a cool band for sure. But that record in particular just really, to me, is awesome. And like some of the songs, like Dreamer is so good. Like Party's Over, just a very heavy, you know, like really
fucking pack it in, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great. This is such a sweet record.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're on a 4.
Oh, yes. Hey everyone, on your travels in Japan, looking in the bins. Any of you guys, anyone watching tonight? I wonder. I've got a question for you. Did you ever, perchance, come across this record? If you have seen this, when I show it, you'll immediately remember if you've seen it or not, and you might have looked at it and thought, "Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, I'm not sure." You know, and you might not have picked it up. I'm here to say that you should have picked it up if you did in fact see it. This one. Anyone see this?
I actually totally did see that.
You did?
No.
Yeah. It was actually, isn't it on the wall at well, it was like there was a photo of that on the wall at one of those huge places in Tokyo. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. It was like I was like, oh, what the hell is that? And I was like, next.
Okay.
I was like, oh, the guy from Nightbreed playing in a band. Okay, cool.
This is like, okay, I'm going to show that all of their records. There's 3 because they all kind of come to the set. But like the Silver Stars is the name of the band. This kind of mysterious, like masked band. It's come out in like 1979 in Japan. It's all over the map. The synths are heavy on this one, but it has that kind of squelchy synth sound, like Squeeze on "Take Me I'm Yours," or maybe even like Deep Purple Stormbringer, if that's more of a good reference point for anybody. But man, this record is like, it has like transistor radio guitars, but it's basically cool. Like heavy rock backbone, but with all this other weird stuff. There's like a synth line that sounds like fucking Radio Gaga, like 5 years before that song even existed. There's a reggae kind of song with calypso that has like a psychedelic guitar solo that comes out in the middle of nowhere. There's like disco beats. There's acoustic guitars. There's straight up heavy rock. It's really like theatrical and flamboyant. kind of remind me of the Tubes, not necessarily exactly musically, but it's very like grandiose and like theatrical. But it's also really like low rent. It's like a kind of budget recording. This band is actually half of Bow Wow, Japanese hard rock band, who are like loudness level of like bigness in Japan, like Bow Wow.
Oh.
Apparently, it's like two of those guys with this like weird side project that they were doing, and they all use pseudonyms, so nobody really knows like who they are. So you got Razor Cruiser on the vocals.
Oh, that's sick.
Sick, right?
Razor Ramon Kuza.
Razor Cruiser, Jimmy Driver. Jimmy Driver is on here too. Robbie Claft, Richard Hope, and Digital Cheap Snake is the guy that
I like to throw cheap in there, not just Digital Snake, but he's
digital cheap in quotes Snake, which nice.
And then the other guy's like, name's Rich Hope. No big deal.
It's hilarious. And then there's this song called Laughing Cop. I want to kind of read out the lyrics. There's a song called Laughing
So
Cop.
is it more like a hard rock kind of record? Like, is it like loudness?
Like the base of it is kind of hard rock, but it's like there's just all these like weird synths and like theatrical stuff and like just all these different influences going on this one. There's a song about green UFO. There's like a Bowie-esque song on it too, like a kind of Bowie sounding song on here. Like
when I look at that, I feel like it's got hard rock, but just kind of like a fuck anything that moves attitude, you know?
And they also have like, hey, check out the logo.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's big in Japan.
Right. This is like the precursor to Samurai Spirit Skinheads, right? Like in 1979, right?
That's Kiss, but sung by the Snake guy or whatever his name is.
That's the first album, and then they get rid of Digital Cheap Snake. They kick him out of the band. So the second album has no keyboards on it. So instead of that, they decided to do this concept album about Marco Polo, which
nice. It's sick as fuck,
the
obviously.
Thing to do, right? You've kicked the guy on, with the synths out. You've got to do
the whole concept. You got a rock opera.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. They were like, there was a fight between like, can we pull off the Marco Polo theme? And Cheap Snake was like, no chance, man. You think we're gonna be able to cover the Silk Road? And then they're like, if you can't get on board, you need to get on.
Just like, okay, now they've got Iron Kid on the lead vocals.
Iron Kid.
Cheap Snake is out.
See ya.
They've got Chang Epstein as the producer.
I know what his uncle got up to.
Right.
He started that island.
Man, there's a song on here that like it's a fantasy about like Marco Polo discovered Koshien baseball stadium, which is like a huge baseball stadium. Like in here, there's lots. Anyway, it's a concept.
So what city are they from?
They're from Tokyo.
Fuck yeah.
It's so weird. There's like so much weird stuff going in there. I really quite haven't unpacked all of it yet.
So was that okay? So was that artwork that like one with the guy with the thing? Was that used by someone else or like?
No. This is. But you see this.
It's like I did see that but I thought that might have been like
no, because his cap has like the Silver Stars like logo on the sailors. The cap there. And then so that you're going to get the second album, the Marco Polo. This is like more hard rock, and then it's punk time.
Hell yeah!
The third album, Unmasked, the Silver Stars, Unmasked. Nobody, please say the name of the record out loud. Just look at it. And
really, it's a rough name.
It's a rough name for a record.
R word noise.
But look at these guys, man. They're unmasked. It's like,
that is a fucking rough idea for a concept. They're like, dude, we're gonna call this R word noise, and we're gonna commit some R's because that's what we do because we rock.
This record is like, okay, the first track. I'm surprised it hasn't been put on like a Kill by Death comp yet. It's just pure like raw as hell, like Kill by Death
sick. Punk.
And the rest of the record is like this really like raw, like heavy rock mixed with like new British heavy metal.
Oh yeah,
this band is like such a trip of a band.
When was this stuff released? Like
79 to 81.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Look at that record.
So they were
like,
definitely dipping their toes in some stuff.
Yeah, you can tell. It's like let's do a synthy record. Let's do a punky kind of new wave British heavy metal kind of record. Yeah,
it's like the Village People punk record.
Record shopping in Japan like was so confounding because I was just like flipping through bins and like 100 records with guys on the cover that look like that, like look awesome, but it's like, what is this record? Like this could be anything. Like I don't know anything about who these guys are. They look sweet, but like what even could this be?
I mean,
because it's like, you know, it could be punk, it could be some kind of
it's such a weird band, and there's not much information out there about it, but I do know that like at least 2 members are all in Vow Wow. Vow Wow are huge. They kind of toured the States. They're kind of like a loudness 80s heavy metal band.
Maybe I don't know. Like it's not ringing any bells, but
right.
Like I would know if I heard our noise or whatever, because that kind of fuck anything that moves attitude is like.
But I think they were kind of trying to keep the fact that it was Vow Wow members kind of secret, but then maybe this is not even them. Maybe this is like other guys. Maybe it's
maybe the Snake guy. The Snake guy was
Cheap Snake.
Is Bow Wow like an 80s band then?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty big. It's like after Loudness, they're pretty much like the second biggest like Japanese heavy metal band of all time.
Really? I say I've never. Yeah, I'm not.
And like from the 80s, like from the
yeah. They started in the 70s called Bow Wow, playing hard rock, and then they changed the name to Vow Wow and started playing like 80s like heavy metal, like Loudness. They sound like Loudness. So.
Oh, crazy.
But so it's even weirder that it was like some of those guys doing this like weird like Silver Stars band. It's like looking Marco Polo and like punk and
All right. Yeah, let's run away from
what's wrong with this.
Yeah, well, this is funny. Like just that cover has some similarities, like to the cover that you showed. So this is like a French punk, post-punk. It's from 79.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. There's lots of synths. There's I don't know. It's like ostensibly a punk record, but it's like there's so much weird shit going on that it makes it sound so bizarre. But it's like it's pre the band Charles de Gaulle, but this record is called and it's an acronym for Clinique Organique Musique Anatomique, which is said in the intro in like some funny voice. But look, if you look at the guy,
oh my god, it's the same guy.
Yeah,
right. Practically him. It is him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna wear a mask this time when I'm jacking.
That's a little strange, actually. That's weird.
That's
crazy.
I mean, it does make a little bit more sense seeing like Coma as opposed to the Sailor version. He's like sounding the foghorn with his fart mask on or whatever.
But I love the artwork of this.
I do too. I love this record. This is a fucking great album.
Medical sci-fi thing, but yeah, it's pre. I don't know if you know the band Charles de Gaulle, but they were like a weird kind of post-punk minimal wave kind of group in France, and they did a bunch of records, and it's like one or two of the guys from
it's like the guitar player, I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think the guitar player of that band, his name is Charles de Gaulle. I don't know.
No, Charles de Gaulle is like a literary character or someone.
History
the guy in the
yes, he was.
Yeah, this guy who like led the rebellion against the Nazis.
But then also led the suppression of the breakup of the French Empire
and also had an airport.
And has an airport.
That lost Ian's guitar, I should say. Fuckers.
Oh yeah, my guitar was at Charles de Gaulle Airport for like a week or something.
Yeah, fuck them.
But this record is amazing.
This record does rule though. Like I fucking.
I don't know. It's very weird. There's like songs with harmonica on it, but with synths and drum machine, and it's I don't know. It's so bizarre, and I love it. I listen to it. I like always have this on deck. I don't know why. I listen to it so much.
I love that record, and I love that first Charles de Gaulle record a lot. I think I like doing the 1-2. Every time I listen to Coma, I do throw on the Charles de Gaulle album too because I fucking love it.
I feel like the Charles de Gaulle is like more like honed in. Like the sound is like maybe more focused or something. This one is like there's weird like disjointed rhythms. You can tell it's like a weird like studio record or something. I don't know. It's like the production is really crazy. Like the guitars don't sound even like they're coming out of amps. And yeah, I don't know. It's such a bizarre record, but I love it. And it got reissued too. I can't remember. It's like a French label called Danger, I think. But yeah, and I weirdly have come across 2 originals in Edmonton.
Yeah, I bought one of them in mine in Edmonton as well.
Wow. Like so 3 have existed in Edmonton for some reason. But yeah, I don't know if you like synth punk, if you like post punk, it's like such a bizarre record.
But it's also like a great, I think that's another one of those great like French punk records that's like weird, but it's got like a heavy like electronic vibe to it.
Yeah, I was gonna like this was like a backup pick, but there's this group called Illich and this record called 10 Suicides. It's like also like it's like kind of genreless and just weird. It's like of that same era too, like late 70s, early 80s, where like punks or weirdos were just like having a time with synths and like making this music that doesn't even really make sense, but it's I don't know, it sounds so I don't know. Sounds like very like alien and otherworldly in a way. It's like this almost sounds like aliens making rock music or something.
Beam me up. Take me to your dealer.
That record is that French too? That one? The other
this one is French too. Yeah. Like there's a lot of like French stuff in the late 70s, early 80s is really weird and really awesome. I don't know. I like it. This one got reissued on like Superior Viaduct, who does a lot of like stuff. And also like the group after this group, they went on to play in that group Ruth, who've been on like comps, like they were on that BIP comp that's
a great comp.
Okay.
Born Bad.
That's on like Polaroid Roman Photo, I think it's called, was on like it's been on some comps, but Coma, I like Coma.
That's the shit.
Coma's the shit.
Wake up.
All right.
Okay, well then just kind of going with keeping the theme going of some really like far out kind of electronic kind of stuff. I'm gonna take you to Miami with the Miami Bass Waves comp. This is this of course is on the Luke Skywalker label, which he was from 2 Live Crew, and so this is definitely got some. Okay, you showed the one R word thing. This is the other R word.
Oh dear.
Get Ard.
Oh dear.
But this song is awesome. So there's 2 like for whatever reason, Volume 2 has 2 LPs on it, and that's the only difference I can tell from Volume 1. Volume 1 actually is like half of this album, which I have on cassette, but I didn't want to bring the cassette out, so I just thought I'd show the LP because this is like so back when 2 Live Crew were kind of like just getting started. They were just like getting into all that like kind of Miami bass kind of big booming 808 kick with like the really high kind of like snare stuff, and it's all like kind of like the stuff is very crude, obviously, but it's just like really fun like party music that when you put it on the back. I wasn't gonna bring this one on, but I had this on while I was going through stuff, and I was just like, man, this is a fucking jammer. And it actually, another reason I wanted to bring this on was because me and Ian had this really funny conversation the other day. Made me think about this. We were talking about the song Warm Leatherette by The Normal.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we were talking about David Cronenberg movies, and we were talking, and I just immediately started thinking about the song and how serious he is, and when he's like, let's make love. And I was like, that would not fly in the Miami Bass Wave universe. They would fucking kick his pencil dick off and just be like, dude, check out, we want some pussy. This is throw some D. This is what we're talking about. So it's just this makes me laugh a lot when you hear how crude this is, and then you hear kind of like the Warm Leatherette, where it's like the very academic guy, but it's still like the end game is the same between these two people.
Well, the end game in Warm Leatherette is having sex and getting turned on by car crashes. So maybe
Yeah, but this one's about dropping bombs, baby. Blowing open your bra, baby. Fucking riding Sea-Doos and fucking chasing gators and like, you know, doing cocaine while you drive your like
Speedboat.
yeah, speedboat or like an 84 Mustang that's all busted up, but you're still like got the best Alpine speakers in there. Anyway, this has got all the jams on it. Gigolo Tony, who I brought last time when I showed you. Gigolo Tony's on this with one of his other hits called Smurf Rock, which is a really weird tune, but not that good. But Gucci Crew is sick because Sally That Girl is a wicked tune. But honestly, KJ and the Fellas with Get Ard is such a jam. Like it's stupid.
That's like Black Eyed Peas.
It's like early Black Eyed Peas.
Well, they ripped off the title.
when they were like, "Oh, this is such a cool thing to say," you know. Anyway, like this is definitely not for anyone who has like, you know, wants to be respectful at the party. But this is I just knew that if I had to bring this out to just bring the sex jams, and this is just an outrageous album. And don't worry, there's the ladies, you know, and Quet. This and it's a jam. But anyway, Miami Bass Waves Volume 2.
Volume 2
is honestly, it's just like it's a party record. It's just like, and I love Trouble Funk. The DC Trouble Funk, and that's actually why I got turned on to this. Because there's this is the first time the Trouble Funk song with Two Live Crew, The Bomb Is Dropped.
Oh wow,
is on this.
Okay,
is on this. But then they perfect it later on. This is still like a really kind of primitive, kind of version of it. Anyway, it's a really stupid party record, but it's like that's what it is. It's like you throw it on, you're just, you know, when you go back to school, play that to the kids, they'll be like, yeah, throw some D. Anyway, it's just a fun, stupid record.
Sounds like something like the West Agros might put on.
Yeah, exactly. The West Agros would, if they were smart, they would throw this on right after they put on a Blade tune. Right after True Force, they could play, you know, Throw the P by Ann Quick.
Just a quick one. Did you guys notice how many Trouble Funk records with in Japan there are with the Obies and stuff? There's tons of them.
I actually bought 2 while I was over there. So I saw Trouble Funk everywhere, and out here it's really hard to find Trouble Funk just regularly in the thing. So anyway, I love that. I love those kind of especially with Trouble Funk, I love that kind of go-go, that, those kind of rhythms. And I found the more south you would go in on the East Coast is kind of, they start swapping things out for more. It's still the same kind of tempo, but it's 808 and the 808 snare. And it's just I don't know, it's a great sound and I love it. And I can listen to it for it's just one of those things for me. I can throw on and I'm already yeah, hell yeah, let's fucking jam.
There you go. All right, Zach. Once again,
that's a really tough act to follow. Miami Bass Waves. I don't have anything quite that good to pull out of the bin here.
I don't know,
but I do have a pretty sick record. This is not super obscure, but such a awesome record and just insane story. Again, I picked it because I was as much to talk about how much I love this record and the follow-up record, Closely Watched Trains, but also just because the story of Eric Cope and the formation of this band is so insane. Do you guys know about the whole story behind
I don't, and actually, to be honest, I have to be you're the one who turned me on to Glorious Din too. I remember we were hanging, you showed me that record, and I've just been
okay, so the name of the band is Glorious Din.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Glorious Din
Okay.
from San Francisco. This is
Okay.
a reissue that came out on Onderstrom Records. I got it at Born Bad in Paris, but I think it's it was relatively available for a few years there. Anyway, I think it was a good size repress that was out there. The original is not super easy to find, but super good. I guess just to start, like just describing the sound. It comes from the kind of like Bay Area punk scene, but like these guys really are riffing on like Joy Division and like that sort of again it's punks trying to play that sound, which again, like I love the fact that you can sort of hear the reaction there, but the story of the band is absolutely insane. So Glorious Din, the frontman Eric Cope, he's originally from Sri Lanka. The story is so long and so convoluted, so I'll give you like the brief version of it, which is basically he was like a kind of street kid in Sri Lanka after his family relocated from like a jungle village when he was young, and he encountered some like European, I think like missionaries, that he ended up staying in contact with them and going to the Netherlands or Belgium. And then he met this American woman there and followed her back to the States and was living in Iowa and founded what I believe is maybe the first Iowa punk band called White Front, which like, and he was like, he got really into like dressing like skinhead. And you can imagine like this Sri Lankan guy dressed like a skinhead in small town Iowa.
In a band called White Front.
Playing a band called White Front. And he was with this woman who like, based on what I read, like really patient woman, I think, who went with him like all over. They ended up in the Bay Area, and he, was really drawn. I think he was just the thing I read is like he got exposed to rock and roll music even when he was young in Sri Lanka, and then just like got more into it in Europe, and then even more into it in the States, and like feeling like he just needed to be in a band. And so when he ends up in the Bay Area, he gets involved in the punk scene there, and at this point, post-punk and goth music is really happening in a big way. And so this is what they do. The sound of these two records is so unique. His voice is very haunting. There's a song on here that is like the whole record really, I don't even know where to begin. Like Tenement Roofs is such a cool song, but like the whole record it just has this very haunting character to it. And I don't know, it's just I really, really love this record. And the guitar work is very interesting. He would play drums, like he would have like a separate drum that he would play at the front of the stage. There's some footage of them playing early gigs that just this really intense vibe. And yeah, dark, atmospheric, interesting lyrics, and very like kind of draws you into this almost like this scene when you're listening to it. But the crazy thing is, so this guy kind of becomes disillusioned as I think like Sri Lankan dude in probably a pretty ignorant California scene, and gets very involved and radicalized by like Black Panther, and Black Panther Party. Ends up going back to Sri Lanka to fight as a freedom fighter there for like a year, before coming back to the States and getting super, super involved in hip hop. And he founded, I think it's called Murder Dog. It's one of the first California like hip hop magazines, and still going. It's still being published. And like I think he did like one of the first ever interviews with Notorious B.I.G. Like just tons of stuff. This guy was just like so active, like just nonstop doing stuff in music, and always really on the sort of interesting edge of stuff that was happening. And like I say, I am giving you like the most Cole's Notes version of a truly epic story of not just Glorious Din, but Eric Cope and his like involvement with music. And I think he, when he was doing Murder Dog, he went by the name Black Dog Bone or something like that. And then he has another pseudonym that he made more like noise music later on. And yeah, so anyway, great record. That I can't recommend enough. Both this one
it is so sick. I do love that album.
Like just really unique. Like it's just I don't know I don't think there's anything quite like it. If you enjoy darker music, post-punk music, and it's like, yeah, it's really a must own in my opinion.
What a story too, even though you've only like just
crazy story. Yeah. Like if you look up Glorious Din, there was a number of articles that were written about them and about him, probably like 5 or more years ago. It's all super interesting. But the stuff I found out about his involvement in like hip hop, as like on a totally other tangent, that somebody was writing about, like, oh, this interesting dude from Sri Lanka that kind of came up in DIY music and then got into hip hop. And so it was like 2 different nerds, had written these articles about this one guy who is just happened to be on the cutting edge.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Wow. That's
crazy.
All right. Last round, fellas.
Last round, boys.
It's my turn to, be intimidated by the pick that came before me, because I can't quite match that one. Actually, I don't really have much to say about this record. I thought I'd better show a punk record.
You get chased off the internet.
This isn't even like that punk, actually. It's a local band, Osaka, Kyoto. I think they've already broken up, but American record label, Secret Mission, which puts out a lot of like garage punk and 77 punk, mostly Japanese bands. Boys Order. Great artwork.
That is
Do the
cool.
Wildcat.
Hell yeah, great name. Do the Bearcat.
There you go. Spacey looking artwork. No space themes at all. Actually, no space themes on this record. But this is kind of the opposite of the Kinoko Hotel. This is like a DIY punk band. They've had the same members from the beginning. There's no ex-staff members in this band. They're a DIY like punk band. The main leader, the woman, the vocalist and guitar player, is really active in the punk scene. Like pretty much like most American garage punk bands or 77 kind of punk bands that pass through Kyoto. She organizes the shows, and like her bands usually play at this place in Kyoto called Pop Pizza. So she's a really important figure, like in the like local, like more like garage punk, 77 like power pop, that kind of local scene. Great record. Boys Order, Do the Wildcat, poppy, energetic, infectious, punky power pop with like hooks. Every song has a great hook, great melodies. No J-pop influence, just straight ahead like old school power pop, garage punk. Very, very high pitched vocals, but they work on this.
Oh, that's sick.
Cool.
Killer band, ex-members of like Radio Shanghai. If anybody knows Radio Shanghai and the Frantic Stuff, so I've talked about before on the show. More of a 77 punk band, but yeah, just great power pop, garage punk.
Yeah,
from the local area.
Did you see them?
I was going to say I wish I had seen them live, but the Chihiro, the leader of this band, she's been in a bunch of bands called like that band Pram Bath. I don't know if anybody remembers that band, Pram Bath, and Radio Shanghai. She's played in. I've seen her play live, but with other bands. You know what? I think okay, when Sonny Vincent played here, she might have been in his band.
Oh, crazy.
Maybe. She's done stuff like that. She does a lot of stuff like that when older bands, like American bands, power pop punk bands, and
she's got the hookup.
Yeah, and she's got pictures with like, she's very friendly with like all the old like American like power pop bands.
Oh, that's cool.
That come so very important woman in the local scene. Great band, Secret Mission Records.
Cool.
And Fake Obi.
Oh, what the hell kind of bullshit is that? Get a real stop.
Never seen a Fake Obi before. You got like the half Obi, but yeah.
I like the artwork though. It's cool.
Yeah, I do too.
It is cool. Yeah, it is cool. Artwork by Maricone. Give them an email, boysorder@gmail.com.
Oh, putting the old email right out.
Hey, there's a cat on the moon too.
That's cool. Sold.
That makes like having the email on the sleeve, like that makes me wonder how many bands like the early 2000s have like how many LPs are sitting there with like a MySpace link.
I was just thinking that when you said that. I was like, oh my god.
MySpace. And
this will last forever, I'm sure. Let's put this on.
Facebook is sex.
Yeah. There's this like this Edmonton like kind of synth pop stuff. We're all friends with Ben Disaster, but the artwork reminded me of
I actually
like
was thinking that too. I love Electric.
colors too.
Yeah, well, same colors.
Oh yeah.
That tape that Ian's showing, Love
Yeah.
Electric, is so sick. I love that album. Yeah,
I just like saw the colors and like kind
Yeah.
of the kind of thing. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
So when I drive around town, I have this milk crate full of cassette tapes that I always just like listen to because I have a tape player and thing. And I had a great pop spilling. Like I bought a fucking drink that didn't fit in the holder and it fell all over there, and I lost so many tapes. And that Love Electric one was one.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's just it's just like I tried to clean it all, but it's just like that stuff gets in there.
Done.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I had to pull over, shed a tear, took a knee, shouted at the gods. Blew open my vest.
There you go. Boys order.
Hell yeah.
Secret Mission Records. All right, Zach, what's your?
Oh no,
Ian. Ian. Sorry, Ian. What's your?
Good.
Last pick. Last pick.
Let's put
No, I
last
think I'm gonna pivot. I was like had something that's kind of like along the same vein as some of this other stuff I've picked, but I've been listening to I've been really diving into dub.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
A lot in the last few years, and I really, really, really love the label On You Sound. It's like out of UK, 80s, and I love like pretty much anything I've heard that Adrian Sherwood has produced. I think he's amazing, and he produced a lot of post-punk stuff, but then I think his bread and butter is dub, and this is kind of like it's not a split, it's like a combined record from it's kind of like not a house band, but there are a lot of the members in Creation Rebel are on a lot of On You Sound records, and this is a Creation Rebel and New Age Steppers record called Threat to Creation. The artwork is terrible. You can't even read the font.
I'm like, what the hell?
But it's this incredible dub record that also just has a lot of very prominent punk and post-punk members on it as well, like Ari Up from the Slits, because New Age Steppers was like a bunch of post-punk, a bunch of white post-punk people playing reggae and playing dub. But Ari Up is on this. Keith Levine plays the guitar, and then there's a bunch of different people playing drums, like Style Scott, who's he's in the project Dub Syndicate. But Bruce Smith, who's the drummer of Pop Group, is on this record too. And it's just this, it's a very, it's kind of dark and psychedelic. And I find that Adrian Sherwood's productions have that kind of overtone to it. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of shit going on that you're I don't even know where the sound is coming from, and leaving and whatever. And it's great. And it's very not minimal, but it's kind of minimal and sparse, but it's but very full sounding atmospherically. I don't know. I was listening to this record a lot, just streaming it, whatever. And then just when we were in Toronto recently at oh my God, where does Tom work? Where does Mr. Ellis work?
He works at Rotate This.
Rotate This. Shout out Rotate This. I found this record there, and I was very hyped to find it. And it's been it's been on the table. I mean, that was mid-July or whatever. I've been just listening to it.
Still listening to it.
Yeah, it's so good. There's this one track in particular that's super there's the guitar is super psychedelic. It's called Eugenic Device. It's so good. But yeah, I can't recommend just anytime I see an On You Sound record, I pretty much buy it now, just because I feel it's a label that I just really like all the stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's so many other members too that like Creation Rebel records, those records themselves are amazing, but there's also guys from African Head Charge on this record, and I love African Head Charge. Like that's like, I think that's like how I initially found out about On You Sound in the first place. But yeah, that record's amazing.
Man, I went to like an On You Sound night, or maybe a couple of them, like back in the mid to late 80s, and I was still souping. I wasn't ready for it. Like a few people I know who are punks were kind of dabbling in this stuff, and like I think it was Adrian Sherwood, Gary Clayle, maybe. Just all the big hitters from like On You Sound at that time. I did not enjoy it at all. And now I'm just like kicking myself. Like you want to go back and like appreciate how great it was, but I was just too narrow-minded in like 1986.
You're like, this ain't no Mac lads.
It's not the Mac lads. No,
I'm out.
Yeah, this is from 81, which is like really crazy.
That's super early, right?
Yeah, I mean that's like all those people were still in those bands. Like whatever. So
it would have been about 86, 85, 86 that I went to these On You Sound like nights in the UK. So
and like Adrian Sherwood literally just put out a record like this month or something, and it sounds amazing. And Creation Rebel and African Head Charge have put out records in the like last year, and they're really, really good. Yeah,
Tackhead 2 was another fucking great one.
Tackhead. Tackhead's amazing.
Yeah.
Graeme, I think you'd really like Tackhead because there's
I don't know.
It's like an early hip hop influence.
Yeah, one of their records has G Voucher artwork on it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, you should. Yeah, definitely be down.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like Adrian Sherwood also like infamously like he produced Twitch, like the Ministry album.
Oh, no way.
And apparently like Al Jorgensen would like go to the washroom and like write down notes and stuff of like what Adrian Sherwood was doing to like to figure out what he like for production stuff later on to use in Ministry. I don't know. Adrian Sherwood is like, I think like a very, I don't want to say he's underrated because I think he like in his sphere he's like good, but he's an incredible producer.
Yeah, absolutely. Graeme, you got to check out Tackhead. Definitely, that's fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already like trying to like I saw him. You remember when you showed me that comp, and I couldn't even clock because like the layout, I was like couldn't even see what the hell it was called, and it didn't stick with me. But I definitely I remember like it's weird. It's totally insane. Like I'm like,
I think that there's, I mean, like on like whatever Spotify, the artwork is like way cooler. There's like it's almost like Crass-esque. It's like a circle with those.
I just looked it up on Spotify so I could remember to listen to it later. And I was like, where's the cover that Ian's talking about?
This is like what the original record looks like, and it's so dumb, but like I think maybe it was like released on CD with that other cover.
Okay.
Yes, CDR.
Are you talking CDRs?
All right, Graeme, what's your last pick?
Okay, so this I got to talk like first of all, getting to tour, like obviously like Ian and I we bond a lot by like getting to like go record shopping a lot, and we also like bond a lot. Like he'll show me stuff that that's not in my wheelhouse or whatever. But one of the things we bonded on like almost like last couple of years, like almost just like our own streams was like a dub group again from England called Josh Shaka. And this record Brimstone and Fire, which I bought in Tokyo at we went to Teen Generate guys. It was
Workout.
Yeah, but we were at the there was like a shop on the other side, and it was full of like dub records. And so Ian and I, like, we definitely had this, like, we would always talk about because like at Criterion re-released a movie called Babylon a bunch of like several years ago, and when I watched that movie, I remember the Josh Shaka scene. Josh Shaka in this thing, he's like the rival dub DJ, and it like hit me so hard, like watching this, and I was just like the scene, like the music, the sounds that were happening in that, it like inspired probably about 3 or 4 different songs and like our performance stuff in terms of sounds and shit like that.
Wow.
Because it was just like there was just something going on that was just something I like I've heard lots of dub, but it was just like in that setting, seeing it in that movie, it just really, I really connected with it. And lo and behold, when I was talking to Ian about this movie that just got put on a Criterion, he had seen it too, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. We were both just like, holy fuck, Josh Shaka rules. And like, so a lot of Josh Shaka records, it's really hard to find. You'll sometimes find just like there's like a certain record label, like when you see the center label, like this one, you see a lot of records like this, and there'll be like Michael Clark and some other artists and stuff. But I find, and the King of Zulu Tribe and stuff. But like this Brimstone and Fire is like one of the Josh Shaka like full lengths where I find it's really interesting because it really kind of takes what he's doing, but it kind of adds more of an 80s vibe to it. Like there's like kind of what Ian was talking about with that comp, like you could kind of tell that there's like other things seeping into the production of this. Like it's not just regular like reverb sounds and delay sounds that he's using. There's actually like stuff that really sounds like it's from the 80s. And I don't know, I got really into, me and my brother, we got really into like like a lot of like dance hall stuff that was like digital, where it was like they kind of got away from even just like the records and stuff, and they had the really digital sounding drums and guitars and all that stuff, and it sounds very from a certain time. And this record, Brimstone and Fire, is like he's going into some really interesting dub soundscapes. And it's funny that me and Ian both, this was definitely one that we were like always trying to find, and we split up that day, and we normally always go record shopping. I probably would have been like, yeah, of course, like if Ian was there, I would have been like, yeah, just take it. But it's just like one of those ones where it was just like the one time on that tour where we like definitely went our own way. Like I end up falling into this like dub dungeon, and there's like all these insane records that were just like
I went to this like dub only store, and there was like not much like that. I mean, like maybe stuff that was like over my head, but it was like mostly reissues and all this shit. And it was like, God damn it. But going back to that scene in Babylon, like that music, like scene with Josh Hoggett, it doesn't exist anywhere else. Like
I know
it's not recorded or anything, and it's so fucking good. It's crazy.
I know, it's like fucking blows my mind. Like there's like the closest I found, there's like a 9-minute Josh Shaka thing on YouTube that I've seen before that has, I think, like a segment of what he's performing in that movie. Anyway, if you haven't seen Babylon, it's I think it was on the Criterion channel. So
but it's
it's out on Blu-ray. Like I have the Blu-ray, and it's fucking killer. But this record is just like a really cool, even like variation of what Josh Shaka is doing in that movie. Like in that movie, it's kind of traditional dub sounding, and this one kind of sounds like a bridge between what he's doing in that movie and the comp that Ian was just talking about. Like it has like some really kind of sophisticated production stuff on it.
I was gonna say too, like Josh Shaka, like in the 80s, like I think it was like throughout the 80s, from like early 80s on, it was like basically the albums maybe after that one, he has all these albums called the Commandments of Dub, and like one whatever, and they're almost all worth checking out. They're so good. And near the like mid or late 80s, he gets more into the like digi dub, like where there's like drum scene and stuff, and it's still I like me and my brother, like we were just like
we love that kind of stuff with that just like really hard rhythms, but it's like all electronic, sounds kind of canned. But this one is just like, I don't know, like I don't know what was going on in the production, but it doesn't sound like your traditional dub thing. It almost sounds like, dare I say, some of that post-punk stuff was even kind of making an appearance in there. I don't know, but it's
like,
Brimstone and Fire is a fucking killer record.
There's a song on that I think it's like called Judgment dub. It's like one of my favorite Josh Hawker songs. It's so
mean, it's not, Mike, it's not as good as Judgment Night by Onyx and Biohazard, but
that's hard to beat though.
No. Judgment dub. But
man, I'm sitting here like spacing out because I feel like I have like one record by Josh Hawker, and it's with my favorite fucking singer, and I can't remember the fucking guy's name. He's the guy that sang with Massive Attack on Portishead, you know, with the...
Oh yeah. Well, you could tell that like Josh Hawker was like in like the wheelhouse of those guys, like, because to me when I listen, like even like Portishead, Massive Attack, you kind of tell that they kind of came from that underground kind of scene.
Who's the dub guy that sang with like Massive Attack or Portishead? Super famous guy, and I'm sat here like,
Goldie? Is that who you're thinking of?
What's that?
Is it Goldie that you're thinking of?
No, like like an old school, like,
is it like Horace Andy?
Thanks. I was like,
there you go, nailed it, buddy. First try.
Sat here, drove me crazy. Horace Andy. There's a Horace Andy and Josh Hawker LP.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just definitely one of those things that I think like from touring and like getting to like, you know, when you're like kind of getting a lot of people like, you know, in your own band and stuff, they kind of like permeate their ideas into you. That's definitely where like Josh Hawker kind of like, you know, like if we're hanging and we're just like listening to dub backstage and we're doing whatever, listen to that. It's just like something to me. I love to space out to just like listen to that and then throw on the Miami bass comp right after and start fucking the wall. Drive my cock right through the wall. No, I don't know.
Well, like that Brimstone and Fire album, there's like, it's like psychedelic too. Like it's
I fucking totally. That's why I love it, man. All dub is like, it's just like they've channeled into that like that world of reverb and delay that like just like, especially when you listen to it on headphones or on a huge system, like the bass and everything just kind of creates these like, I don't know, these like it's just like, you feel like you're flying through space and that fucking rules. So it's just like, I don't know.
Well, and anyway. Josh Hawker was like, he passed away like only a couple of years ago, but he was like still playing like sound system.
And he still had that same sound system, the one that's in the movie. Like he was still lugging around. Like they had that when he died, Greensleeves did like this big Josh Hawker party at their shop, and it was the same sound system.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's so cool.
I also think that's like such a cool thing. Like, like
I know, lugging that around.
Well, like the plot of Babylon, where you're like competing sound systems. Like, who has the better like bass and like who has the better speakers and whatever. I think that's so sick.
I love that too. And plus, like the look and like anytime you see like photos of like those big like dub like battles and stuff, and you just see all the equipment and stuff, it's just like, this is so sick. Like, I love that that's such a big part of the
it's incredible too to reflect on that versus how people listen to music today.
I know,
which is like a little portable Bluetooth speaker or something where you can really hear, and it's like the least dynamic sound
like
possible.
How fucked is it to think like you spend how much money in a studio to make a record sound like a thing, and you're like, okay, and then in this side we're gonna have like this like little guitar thing that's only gonna be hidden, but it's like under this layer of blah blah blah, and you do all this stuff, and then you're like, oh, it gets compressed, it's on YouTube, you can't hear any of that shit, and you're like, and no one gives a fuck. And you're like, oh yeah, there was this thing in there, it's really cool, but like wait for the laser disc to see how we made that. It was really cool.
Little Disorder Chaos UK like tie up. It's like Bristol was a huge like town, that kind of stuff. You walk through St. Paul's, there'd be like sound systems like on the street and stuff back in the 80s. Bristol was a big town for dub too, you know, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think in Disorder you can hear that. Like there, like that. The way that the records are made is so just insane. But like
you hear boobs on the reverb machine.
There's layers, man.
Fucking take it away, Taff.
All right, Zach.
All right,
final pick.
What's it?
So my last pick, and this is not somebody that I know all that much about. Mike, you're gonna know more about it than me, but this is Takeshi Terauchi.
Takeshi Terauchi, the king of like surf guitar mixed with like traditional Japanese music.
Yeah, this guy again. I probably again, like just growing up, the Pulp Fiction soundtrack dropped when I was like 12 years old or something, and the surf guitar on that was like just blew my mind as a little kid. Like, wow, this sounds so cool. And I always just had maintained an affinity for like just enjoying that sound. You know, I guess probably 7 years ago, I had to do this big thing for work. I was writing this massive proposal, and I just needed to like lock in and listen to something that would be totally
no words,
like not something that I wouldn't be distracted by. And I just somehow YouTube stumbled along Takeshi Terauchi and his Blue Jeans, and it's like I was just like, oh, this looks cool. It's like a picture of him standing playing a guitar on the beach, but he's he just has this kind of look to him. And I listened to it, and it just like my mind just opened up, and I was just like writing this thing and just like, holy shit, this is so theatrical sounding. Like there's something about it that feels very, very cinematic. But it's all instrumental music. He is like just an unreal guitar player. Like listening to this guy play is just mind melting and humbling as a guitar player myself, to be like, how do I dare? How can I even call myself a guitar player? Listening to,
I think that all the time.
Something like this is like, I don't even know what he's doing. I can't even.
He plays the guitar like the shamisen, like the traditional Japanese string instrument. And like a lot of the songs are based on old like Japanese folk songs and stuff like that. And it gets pretty heavy at times. Like sometimes it's really heavy, and at other times it's like a little bit cheesy. But like man, I love all the like the 70s stuff. Is up until about like 73. It's actually like a compilation album, right? That was released outside of Japan with like some of his like the greatest hits of. Whatever.
Another super prolific guy with 1 million records. I got this in Japan as well, obviously, and I
that's
was just
a good one. That's a really, really good one. That's a good one.
It looks so sick too. I've never.
I mean, look at this cover. Like, look at this band. There's no way
that's not going to be good.
Like it's just too sick. The gold leaf on the record and everything. Like, it's just beautiful.
Insane.
And it wasn't expensive too, right? Probably like
this was like Japanese equivalent of a dollar bin. Like I think I probably spent like $4 or something, the equivalent of $4 to buy this. And but I was so stoked to find it. And the 70s stuff is it's surf, but it's super psychedelic also. And pretty heavy at times and always cinematic, like very
so good. So
like
good.
I love that shit. Like I think that like that's totally in my wheelhouse too. Like I definitely love any sort of like reverb guitar that's just like, I mean, it's funny, like just talking about even that stuff, like, like Link Ray or whatever. But then it's funny because then I was just like, I hadn't listened to Dead Kennedys in a long time, and I threw it on, and I was just like, just like listening to the arrangements and like the guitar playing. This is fucking insane.
Oh, I love it. And that's a band. That's another band that for me, like even to this day, like Dead Kennedys, as cheesy as it is, everybody drew the DK logo on their
fucking best
high school textbook or whatever.
But I mean, that was how we got into any guitar work like that,
right?
And again, like it's just one of those things that you listen to the way that, like, I just love that. I love the idea that some of these people were kids when they were making this music, and it's still somehow they managed to write something that sounds very timeless and like and still is impressive as like as a musician today to go, wow, this is like. These people did some pretty interesting things and really cool things even when they were just young and stupid kids or whatever. But it's a bit of an aside, but I just think I love those surfy sounds. And
me too, man.
I mean, I don't know if you saw it. There's his best-selling record it's called Let's Go Classics. Yeah, and it has him and his band dressed up as like Beethoven and stuff on the front.
Oh hell
and they cover like classical music in this like fucking frantic like, and it's like. Somehow it's not cheesy. It's fucking like I buy copies. I've got like 5 copies of it actually.
Oh my god!
I just give them to people. When I see it, like check this out, and like
you're gonna like it.
Like,
I gotta. That's definitely on my. He
has a huge back catalog. That like compilation album that you can get. Actually, I wouldn't even. The Japanese ones are the best, right? If you come here, they're in the bins, right, Zach? They're like in the bins
Yeah.
with the OB,
Yeah.
like because they made thousands of them. He was on a major label, so and he's not fashionable. Like what he wasn't in the Julian Cope book, even though some of his records technically kind of could have been because they're pretty heavy and psychedelic. But like he's more like I don't know. I guess he wasn't like artful enough to be included in like Julian Cope's book about Japanese music. But I love Takeshi.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like just surf music, but like
it gets this popcorn, but it's like I mean, it's really good.
I've never met anyone that I've introduced him to that hasn't been liked him. It's like fucking, you cannot dislike Takeshi.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah, I can't wait.
I just sent you one, Graeme. So you got it.
Oh hell yeah!
It's
sounds sick.
Really cool records and just super enjoyable music.
That's a great last pick. I love Takeshi Terauchi. There you go.
Yeah.
There we have it. That was the last pick. Man, we covered a lot of ground, a lot of good ground.
Yeah.
Any genres?
Well, we do 20 plus 45 extra records.
Yeah. Not the most orthodox.
65 records have been shown on this taping.
Right. We're going to wrap up. We're going to probably keep on chatting a little bit after the cameras stop rolling. We've got a show next week. Stay tuned to your socials to check out next week's lineup. It'll be next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, as usual. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a good time. Check out all the records we introduced. See, there's a lot of them. A lot of homework. A lot of homework for everyone out there.
Sure.
Until next time, stay healthy.
Thanks, Mike.
Stay clean.
It's fucking